police all
I
over
know,
the road
but
to tell you that.
I know.
It's
but
not a suggestion.
say you're going 75.
Yeah.
You could probably go 80, right?
Yeah.
See, so I mean, is that the deal, or is it 82? I've heard 5, I've heard 7.
I think most of the time you get 10.
10. Now, I would love to believe you, but if I get a ticket for going 85, you're paying for it.
No, I'm not. I mean, because some cops won't give you the 10, but most will give you 10, 9 or 10.
9 or 10.
9 or 10.
I heard it was 7. Is there a one of San Antonio's finest out there that could let us know?
There are lots of police that listen to this show.
Well, you don't have to give your name, obviously.
No, or your department, because there are some neighborhoods, some little cities within San Antonio.
That's a good point.
That will get you for 1 or 2 over.
I live in one of those communities.
You do.
Yes.
But you have the little sticker on your car.
I know it. The little Roadrunner bird or whatever it is that supposedly, according to the mayor of the fine city of Chavano Park, it's an honor to have that, and it may get you a get out of jail free card, depending on what you're doing. So that's why we have it on there. That was the coolest thing when Maggie and I first moved in over there. Here comes the mayor. Just walking around the neighborhood, introducing himself to just being a politician.
Well,
right?
yeah,
it was cool.
It was just so Russell Wilson, obviously. I mean, he's just over there to shake hands and kiss babies.
You see, everybody, nobody knows what day it is, Jason.
What
we
day
have
is
to
it?
tell them.
Hump day.
It's hump day.
Paul Cantu, thank you on the YouTube Live. You can always watch us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel.
If you're watching on YouTube, you saw how that came, from the belly. Hump day. You were taught to speak. Got to come from the belly.
Hump day.
Hump day.
I am so glad you can entertain yourself, Mr. Ryan.
Well, me too. You got to have fun at work.
You do.
You got to have fun at work. See that, Paul? I love you. On YouTube, Paul Cantu says can't tell the difference.
Hump day.
Well, I'm glad.
Hump day.
I'm glad you're doing a show just for Paul, right?
Oh, well, everybody. But, Paul's being nice. So.
All right. Brian Thorne writes on our YouTube, "Hey, boys, empty box of donuts for Rob's B-Day, huh? I remember my first prank. Have a great show." Here's the thing. When we left out of here yesterday, that was not an empty box of donuts. Now, I haven't heard from Rob.
Well, for the most part, it was.
Don't let facts get in the way of the good story. It was not an empty box.
No, it was a
donuts.
nasty-looking chocolate donut. And it was pretty nasty looking.
James Pledger, the last one to leave here.
Nope. There was one donut, the same chocolate cake donut, when I left, and I was the last person that left the building. So whatever happened after I left, not my fault.
So we've got to figure out who stole Rob's birthday donut.
Well, who's in here after Pledge leaves?
Literally nobody.
Exactly.
I was the last one out the door.
All right, but who's the first in the door? It's Trey Ware over at KTSA.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Trey Ware is going to come eat the donut.
No.
Jimmy?
Jimmy might.
Jimmy might.
But why would Jimmy be in our studio?
He comes to say hey to Rob all the time.
Sean Rima.
He's after.
Uh-huh.
Well, what time does Sean get in the building?
Well, he's on at 7,
or
right?
8. Yeah.
Yeah, but what time does he get? It's like Trey Ware goes on at 5, but he shows up at midnight.
Well, he's well prepared.
Sean, Trey Ware has not realized that we're in 2023, not 1993. I mean, that guy gets here at midnight.
He does.
And prints out the internet.
Well, to his defense, when do you start working? I start working about, 10 o'clock in the morning.
I'm 8:30.
Yeah, but you're doing sales stuff.
Well, I mean, but still, 8:30. No, I'm not doing that at that point. I'm prepping for the show. I mean, but I don't print out the internet.
Well, no, I just write it down on a pad.
So Pledge is going, it's got to be Johnny Ramirez over here at Tejano 95.7.
Okay. Could be.
Johnny gets here before everybody else. I don't buy that.
Gets here before Rob and Rudy.
Well, that doesn't say much. I mean, I'm talking about Trey Ware's the first in the building.
He's the first one here. Then it's either Jimmy or Johnny, and then Rob.
Well, who the hell is
and
Johnny?
Edwin.
Oh, Johnny Ramirez.
Yeah.
The Jimmys and Joes in this place that I don't know. All these morning show guys that you have no idea who they are. You see them at like the all staff meeting once a year.
Yeah, that's
Elaine
it.
gets here first.
She still comes to work.
She still comes to work.
I haven't seen her since 2019.
Elaine is.
You don't get here early enough.
Well, I mean, I know I get emails from her every now and then, a phone call, but I didn't know she still came into the building.
Still comes to the building.
Of course she does.
Well, I mean, who's here that early to see him?
The only guy that doesn't is Riccardi, right?
Yes, Jack Riccardi refuses to leave his house. Jack, now granted, in defense of Jack Riccardi, I would be right there with him if I were still doing a solo show.
Yeah, well, you're welcome. I got you back in the studio.
I don't think there was a thank you there. I mean, we could be at my kitchen table right now with the Traeger going.
Well, yeah, you could.
Eric Frennet says Johnny Ramirez would never pass up on a donut.
Uh-huh.
You want to call? Hang on, let's text Ramirez and see if he. So Rob said it was literally an empty box.
He said it was an empty box. I immediately texted him, said that is not true.
So Rob did not get the leftover donut we found in the break room, and then tried
on
to
your desk.
I want to know Rob's
to
definition of an empty box. He may consider one donut in a box that was meant for 12 as an empty box. So we need Rob's definition of that.
He told the listeners we left him no donuts.
Can we get Rob on the phone?
Are you kidding me?
Call Rob, see if he's up.
He didn't wake up for a fantasy draft. You expect him to wake up for
Rob
this?
was there for the fantasy
He was
draft
there.
last
He
night.
was.
He
yeah.
said he auto-drafted.
He did not auto-draft.
Did he?
No, because it was going too fast.
That's right. He did go pretty fast.
You know, I'm going to assume it was Nate Ryan, the new sportscaster at Ken's, about halfway through the draft hit auto. So you watch the entire thing for 2 minutes, countdown, and then it took the best player available.
Well,
are we calling Rob?
I could try.
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't say that for you to just sit there and look at me. Now call him. We got to figure out who stole the donuts.
Donuts? There were no donuts.
Well,
there was a donut.
I mean, literally, we repurposed. Pledge, quit writing on the screen and dial the guy.
Maybe he did auto draft.
He didn't auto draft.
Well, we're going to get to the bottom of a lot of things if he answers the phone, which
we gotta dial the phone first.
If I was a gambling man, I would say that that one's going to voicemail.
Well, yeah, because he was up late last night.
Right.
But I really don't think that he auto drafted.
All of the things that we just don't know today. You know, that's we normally know a lot when we come in here, but today it's all a mystery.
No, we still know a lot.
I know we got a great show.
We do. We have a lot lined up today.
Jam-packed show.
Michael Lombardi will join us at 2:30.
Yep.
Former NFL GM's got a book out called Football Done Right. We'll get his thoughts on the 2023 season. We'll talk some UT Alabama football with the great Bob Ballou from KI Television in Austin, one who did not auto draft last night.
Now, he even had a nice message at the end. See you, fellas. I miss y'all.
I missed that.
You missed it? Well, you got to go back to the messages.
All right. Jane Slater from the NFL Network will join us at 5 o'clock. And Jeff Traylor, the UTSA head coach, take two.
Yes.
Jeff Traylor will join us coming up at 5:30 on the Blitz.
So a lot to talk about. And then Mike McCarthy was on the podium earlier today. We're going to hear from him coming up. So lots of special folks.
Voicemail?
Of course it was voicemail.
Shocker. Wake up, Rob. Tomorrow we're going to be live out at the Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road, as we get ready for the first NFL game of the season. Thursday night football, Chiefs and Lions, a game that you can listen to here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, presented by Yingling Traditional Lager. And again, We'll be out at Roof Hub tomorrow from 2 to 6 getting ready to watch that game. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, Kansas City could be shorthanded for sure. No Travis Kelce. Yeah, Chris Jones.
Yeah.
He may not be he's holding out, although he said he just wants a contract. He'll be ready to go if he can put his name on a contract.
Pay the man.
Pay the man.
Pay the man. We'll talk about it. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's Dallas Cowboys football on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. This Sunday, it's the Cowboys and Giants at 6 p.m.
Prescott with a quarterback option, running to the right, spilled, head over heels, into the end zone, touchdown Prescott.
Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, Ewald Kubota, Mother's Window Tint, the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chunkla, Woods Comfort Systems, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
And Twin Peaks is honoring the pursuit of brews and barrel-aged bourbon every Friday at our Bourbon and Brews party. Get to Twin Peaks Fridays from 5 to 7 p.m. to experience a lingerie costume party paired with exceptional bourbons, tastings, and giveaways. Cheers!
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters has a smoking hot deal. Purchase any Mother's Window Tint, car stereo, remote start, or car alarm and get a 1-month free membership to the CFL Smoke Shop's private Amsterdam Club, located next to Mother's on 281 North. Make your car go thump, thump, thump. Mother thump with one of our subwoofers, stereos, backup cameras, name brands, and expert installation. Remember, do it at Mother's and save!
Join Smokers Paradise this Saturday at the new South Cross location for the grand opening party. Get 25% off all products. Restrictions apply. And the first 100 customers get a free gift bag. That's Saturday at the new Smokers Paradise South Cross location at 2370 East South Cross Boulevard.
Okay, next time you're at the store, I dare you to not think about the unmistakable, fresh, clean scent of Irish Spring. Yeah, you heard me. I want you to resist picturing a shower filled with those sensational Irish Spring suds. And if you succeed, well, you got what my gramps used to call resolutitude. Not a real word, but let's be honest, you're probably going to end up leaving with Irish Spring because of its irresistible scent and because you have zero resolutitude. Pick up Irish Spring today.
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone.
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up autosave in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools, one bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Autosave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Okay, next time you're at the store, I dare you to not think about the unmistakable, fresh, clean scent of Irish Spring. Yeah, you heard me. I want you to resist picturing a shower filled with those sensational Irish Spring suds. And if you succeed, well, you got what my gramps used to call resolutitude. Not a real word, but let's be honest, you're probably going to end up leaving with Irish Spring because of its irresistible scent and because you have zero resolutitude. Pick up Irish Spring today.
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone.
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up autosave in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools, one bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Autosave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Nachos! Yeah, you nachos!
Hey, I'll take some.
Great. And some Frank's Red Hot.
Oh, nah, I'm good.
Oh, you're just gonna eat these dry, plain, boring nachos with no Franks. Oh, seriously? Frank it up. Frank it up. Come on, lady. Frank it up. Frank it up. Frank it up. Yeah! Yeah, this guy finally gets it. Hey, look, we're on the Jumbotron.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tomorrow on R&R in the morning, it's game day, baby. Chiefs, Detroit, we're getting you ready. We're looking at all the NFL games. That gumbo is hot. We're looking at the NBA. No meaningful movement with Dame. What's going to happen around the league? And is James Harden destined for failure? Lots to talk about around the world, but it is all football. Now back to the Blitz. Jason and Joe, the Root Pub going to be popping tomorrow. Can't wait to see what you do today.
Appreciate you, Rob. We will be at the Roo Pub tomorrow as the NFL season is here. So make sure you go to sasportstar.com. The Pro Football Pick'em Challenge, you can jump in at any point throughout the season, but you want in on that grand prize, it's better to play every week, which starts this week. Grand prize, locally, $1,000 worth of tickets to A-Awesome Tickets. Weekly winners get a $50 gift card to Five Oaks Ace Hardware over on Thousand Oaks and Jones Maltzberger. So go to sasportstar.com and get registered for the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge.
I got to remember to do that because, I always forgot.
This literally is your reminder, Joe Reinagel.
I'm going to get in there.
And for all of you out there listening or watching, your reminder.
At some point during the show.
sasportstar.com.
So if I zone out for a couple of minutes.
Why would you do that on a Wemby Wednesday?
It's a Wemby Wednesday.
Sure, I just heard a promo with a whole bunch of basketball talk as we're getting ready to kick off the NFL season.
Well, Wemby's going to be exciting when it gets to that point in time. But you're right, it's football season, man, and I'm ready for a little NFL football. That draft last night was perfect; it was great. But there's some teams that have some question marks going in.
Lots of them. And quite honestly, I mean, one of the bigger question marks was Joe Burrow, but he says he's ready to go.
With that calf, though, if I'm the Bengals, you're a little worried about that thing. I mean, those things can linger a little bit.
Well, I mean, although he's been out forever, I mean, the good news is he got hurt so early in training camp. Mm-hmm. He's had plenty of time to deal with that, although I look like Donovan Wilson, who's dealing with the strained calf with the Cowboys, and he ain't close to being ready, it doesn't sound like. So not all calves heal equally, but Burrow is trending as if he's going to be able to go on Sunday. Travis Kelce tomorrow night's one of the bigger questions, especially for, I don't know, a guy that drafted Patrick Mahomes last night in a fantasy draft.
Did you do that?
I did that.
Wow. When did you draft?
Last night.
I know, but what was your position?
10.
10.
I drafted last.
I actually let him go by. I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was and again, I mean, you end up with the guy that could be the MVP. The only thing that makes me comfortable with no Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes hasn't done anything in the NFL without Travis Kelce. That guy does not miss games. But Patrick Mahomes didn't miss Tyreek Hill last year.
No.
And, there's a lot of guys on that team.
Got Valdez Scanling.
All right. Can you name another receiver?
No, I can't.
Sky Moore. All right. Patrick Mahomes is one of those kind of players that doesn't matter, right?
He's amazing.
Tom Brady, it can make anybody around him better. Where you look at so many other quarterbacks, Dak Prescott, they need playmakers out there to elevate their game. So I'm not overly worried. I still think Mahomes goes for 300 yards and a couple of touchdowns because he's Patrick Mahomes.
I could see that game being a shootout too, honestly, with both Detroit. I'm anxious to see them just to see if the hype is real. Is it that? And that line has come down. It started at 6.5, went to 5.5, and then Travis Kelce, it's come down to 4.5. So the betting folks are taking the Lions.
Well, and and as you follow the betting folks, the one that I have found interesting where there's so much movement is New England and Philadelphia. So many people think New England could win that game outright.
Who's thinking that?
Well, I mean, do you do any reading and research?
Well, yeah.
Do you watch anything in the mornings?
Nobody thinks New England's going to beat Philadelphia.
They're at home. New England's got New England has Bill O'Brien. We don't know what he's going to be like as an OC with Mac Jones, how they're going to use everybody. And Philadelphia with 2 new coordinators and a couple of 5 new faces on the defensive side. If New England is getting Philadelphia at the right time, and I've seen not only cover but outright win on that game.
Okay, well, that's not going to happen.
You think Philadelphia is just going to be 18-0?
No, I don't. And there will be some games that they lose.
They only have 17
I just don't think it's going to be against New England. I'm not sure how good New England's going to be this year. And it's a first game for everybody. Now, did Jalen Hurts play in the preseason? I don't recall.
It's a great question. I don't know if Jalen played a lot in the preseason, if at all, to be honest.
I mean, it makes a difference.
I don't watch a lot of preseason outside of the Cowboys.
So Philly's a 4-point favorite, most across the board. So you would take the +4? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying I've been reading a lot of people that are saying that game, not only New England could win outright, but it comes down to a field goal and they cover that number.
Joshua Dobbs, by the way, is starting for the Cardinals,
which has nothing to do with the Eagles and the Patriots. But yeah, Josh Dobbs, he just showed up last week.
I thought we were a little gumbo going on here. As I'm looking at the lines, because when have the Commanders been a 7-point favorite over anybody?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. That looks like one of those enticing plays that might bite you in the ass.
It really could.
Jalen Hurts did not play in the preseason.
Okay. Well, then that could be an issue for Jalen, as it could be for Dak Prescott.
First games are so much fun. Let's talk to a guy that's been a part of 3 Super Bowls. He's got a lot of rings. Former general manager Michael Lombardi has a new book out. He joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure to get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. If you need caps done, Sam has over 12,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps. If you need T-shirts screen printed, go see Sam. If you need uniforms done, Sam has over 700 uniform lines to choose from, all kinds of industries. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices. Sammy has all the big name brands. No order too big, certainly no order too small. All items do come with a warranty. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro, a mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
It's R&R in the morning.
Thursday on R&R in the morning. Rudy's in the hole, but we're looking at the NFL up and down all the games, starting with the game tonight. Chiefs in Detroit. We're also going to look forward to the college football season. Is Texas ready for Bama? And can A&M head into South Florida and bring it home? The NBA is always top of mind. No meaningful movement on Dame Lillard. Party starts at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Imagine getting ahead of your irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C by treating it with Linzess. Then you could start proactively managing your constipation with belly pain and get ahead of your symptoms. Talk to your doctor about Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Hold up, you're using Swiffer Power Mop? What would Mom say?
Oh, she'd be like, a mopping bucket is the only way to deep clean your floors. And I'd be like, Mom, this is the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one that gets you a mop and bucket clean in half the time.
She'd never believe you.
I'd say, look, the solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket. And the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get into grout lines. That's why you're the smart one.
Really?
What? Mom said it.
The new Swiffer Power Mop. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Like any good agent, we're here for the open house, for the closing, for handing over keys. But because we're realtors, we're here for so much more. Agents who are realtors volunteer at nearly 3 times the national average. We're working to broaden access to credit, increase affordable housing supply, and ensure fair housing for all. And realtors are bound by a code of ethics. We're here for it all. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Rich Eisen here, and if you're enjoying this game and want to be in the game every day, there's something the guys here in my show studio have been enjoying. Prize Picks Daily Fantasy Sports, the #1 daily fantasy sports app. If you're eager to test your knowledge and skills, play the game enjoyed by millions and join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Don't sit on the sidelines this season. Join the guys in my studio today and see how your picks stack up with them and your fellow fans. And the guys just told me that Prize Picks matched their first deposit up to $100. Do the same for yourself when you visit prizepicks.com/primetime and use code primetime. That's primetime at prizepicks.com/primetime. Prize Picks, daily fantasy made easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Rizep, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
All guests appearing on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star appear on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. You can always get us on Twitter at Joe Reinagel 210. You can tweet at me at Jason Minix. You can dial up or text 210-656-3776. That's 656 ESPN. If you're watching on YouTube, you can always comment there. The NFL season kicking off tomorrow. Detroit and Kansas City in a game you can listen to here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by Yingling Traditional Lager.
Nice. Well, I'll probably be having 1 or 2 of those at the Roo Pub tomorrow night.
Because we'll be live at the Roo tomorrow from 2 to 6. And then Sunday, of course, Sunday Night Football, Cowboys and Giants.
Man, I tell you what, that's I'm just excited about the whole damn thing. Well, I got to be honest with you.
I like the fact that the Cowboys play on Sunday night.
Well, don't they usually open up on Sunday night?
A lot of times.
It seems like
you know, it's America's team. You know, old Collinsworth said at one point, you know, if NBC could have them all 17 weeks, they would. But as a fan, I get to enjoy a full day of football and watch a little bit of everybody. I get to cash in on that YouTube Red Zone thing that I bought for $1 gazillion. So I'll set up another TV, watch the YouTube, have different games going, and gear up for the Cowboys game.
What are you cooking? That's what I want to know.
Well, I don't know yet.
You don't know yet?
I don't know yet.
I thought you'd already have your first Sunday menu all planned.
I don't know yet. Are you inviting yourself over?
Well, it depends. That's why I'm asking.
What would you like to see on my grill?
Wow. Let's see. Your ribs are pretty good. Just saying. I know you've made those recently.
Yeah, they're more than pretty good.
Well, they're pretty good.
Could be ribs, could be wings.
I don't want wings, Minix. Come on, if I'm coming over, I want something a little more fancy than that.
Do some English cross cuts, maybe a picanha, tri-tip.
Woo, tri-tip. I made a tri-tip from Tri-County.
All I know is
it was fantastic.
You get your game day menu, what's going on your grill, because it is football time. The game tomorrow night, then Sunday, and again, the Cowboys play at 6. You get all day to watch a little bit of everybody as we head in to the Cowboys-Giants game. Start of the football season, I said earlier, today's like Christmas Eve. Let's talk about a guy that's opened a lot of football seasons. He's got 3 rings. He's been in the NFL as an executive for well over 30 years on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Let's welcome in Michael Lombardi and his new book, Football Done Right, setting the record straight on the coaches, players, and history of the NFL. Michael Lombardi, welcome onto the Blitz.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.
For you, a day like today or getting ready for this opening weekend, is it, you know, like I said, it's kind of like Christmas Eve. As a fan, we just can't wait. All your years as an executive, is it a little bit different? Is it like, I don't know, opening day for a business, like you've been putting all the touches on everything, and now let's just go out and see if the customers are going to show up?
Yeah, I think it's the hardest time because you really don't know what you have, right? I mean, so, you know, the unpredictability, it's you put together a plan of the off season, and now you want to see if the plan's going to work, right? And so I think that's always the hard part. You know, what does it look like? How is it going to come together? And can you stay healthy? And, you know, football's a game of execution, right? So you got to execute, and you've got to play at a very high level, and you got to practice your game and improve. So, you know, I think you got to take it in stride. Look, when teams that lose opening day, it doesn't mean anything. Teams that win opening day doesn't mean anything. What means the most is getting better.
Well, you know, Michael, that's an interesting way to look at it, obviously, but it goes back to the argument we've been having over the last couple of years about playing in preseason games. There's a lot of teams that won't play their starters in preseason games. I'm just curious as to your thought about that and teams that don't play their starters.
I'm a believer. Look, I come from the Belichickian school and Parcells. I believe that you've got to spar. You know, Parcells used to say all the time, you know, we got to spar before we box, right? And I think preseason, you got to spar. You got to get the pad level down. You've got to have really good, you know, contact. You got to get the body ready to play. Now, some teams do it by having joint practices, and some teams do it by playing their guys. I mean, Patrick Mahomes threw 17 passes this summer. So he threw 28 the year before. So that Andy Reid believes the same thing I believe. But I think, to me, you've got to be able to get your team ready. If you try to avoid injury, your team's not going to be ready. Look, football is a game where it's about endurance, it's about stamina, it's about mental and physical toughness, and it's about a team. And so it's just not about one player. And so if you're trying to protect players from getting hurt, that's usually when they get hurt.
Michael Lombardi joining us here on the Blitz, longtime NFL executive, former GM. As you say that, this is Cowboys country. Dak Prescott and most of those starters for the Cowboys did not play in the preseason. And for the first time in I don't know how long, the Cowboys didn't have any joint practices. Now, Mike McCarthy said, have you seen our defense? Going against them every day is getting our offense ready, and vice versa. What are your thoughts on this year's Cowboys squad, especially knowing they did not play starters in the preseason or have any joint practices? Are they going to be ready to go on Sunday?
Look, I think this is an interesting thing in doing research on the Cowboys. They have not been to the playoffs 3 consecutive seasons since 1994. So, I mean, think about that now. I mean, they haven't been to a conference championship game since then either, but I mean, since 95. But I mean, like, look, it's hard, but I think they've improved their team. And I truly think if they get this offensive line to stay healthy, now Tyler Smith's might miss the game because of a hamstring, but if they can stay healthy, they certainly have the ingredients to be a good team. Can they win it? Can they close a game out? I think that remains to be seen. They can't turn the ball over. Dak takes too much hit for turning the ball over because some of those turnovers aren't necessarily his fault. But they got to protect the football. If they play from in front with the way they play defense, they can be special.
Michael, when you look at the Dallas Cowboys and the history of that franchise, obviously it's a storied history, certainly, and they're America's team, the most valuable franchise in the world, I think. I mean, they're up there certainly. How did they get to that point from where they began?
I think a lot of this is you broke up on me on that question. I couldn't quite hear you.
Okay, so the Cowboys' history, obviously there's a rich tradition with that Cowboys franchise. They're the most valuable franchise of anybody. And so my question is, when they started, how did they get from where they started to where they are today?
Well, they haven't been able to deliver in the clutch, right? I mean, I think that's what it comes down to. You got to win these close games. They did when Landry was there. And they did when Jimmy was there. And there's something that falls apart. They've had home field advantage and lost. And they've just not been able to win those close games. And I think a lot of that is mental and physical toughness that you got to develop. And look, they have a really good team. I think Will McClay does a great job picking players. I think they do a good job of getting everything in order. It's just they've got to be able to make the necessary plays at the right time. And football is that game, right?
Well, it is.
We know how many times it goes other ways. And so, I just think, to me, they have to find a way to break through. And whether they can do it this year or not, I don't know. The Eagles are really good, but they beat the Eagles. I know Jalen Hurts wasn't the quarterback, but they can't let complacency set into their organization when they're winning. They've got to have that eye of the tiger. And that's the one thing what I write about in the book Brady was so good at doing is he made sure that nobody was contentment. Contentment is the cancer of all good teams.
Interesting. Michael Lombardi joining us here on the Blitz. Michael, I think about, you worked with Bill Walsh, you worked with Bill Belichick, you worked with Al Davis. Al Davis is probably as close to Jerry Jones of the three. Your book is called Football Done Right. In your mind, is Jerry Jones doing football right?
Well, I mean, Jerry and Al are completely different. So let me give you a little history lesson on Al Davis, right? So Al Davis started out as a coach at Citadel, right? And then he was on the coaching staff at the San Diego Chargers. Sid Gilman, one of my trees that I write about in the book, one of the White Oaks, was the head coach. Sitting next to Al Davis in the press box was Chuck Noll, the defensive coordinator. And then Al became the commissioner. Look, they both own teams and they both run their teams, but the difference between the two gentlemen, and I have great respect for Jerry, is way different in terms of their knowledge of football. I was riding in a car one day driving Bill Walsh around because I was Bill Walsh's lackey. And Coach Walsh told me, he said the most football he ever learned was from Al Davis. The most football he ever learned came from Al Davis. That's why I spent 10 years working for him. So we're going to separate that a little bit. But I do think your point's well taken. I think when the team believes they work for the owner and they don't work for the coach, I think it's problematic. I think it becomes a problem. And I think it's hard. I think it's really hard to generate that kind of mental toughness, right? That edge that you need to make that play, right? I think it's really hard because when the guy who stands in front of them doesn't control their employment, they feel like, okay, I could take a play off. I could take a day off. And when that guy that stands in front of them every morning is the guy that ultimately decides whether they're going to stay or go, things change a little bit. Remember this, Churchill said this right before he became prime minister. They asked him, how did he become prime minister? He said, fear does the work of reason. And that's true in football. Fear does the work of reason. Sometimes it's hard to reason with players. You got to put fear in them.
Well, that's interesting that you say that, Michael, because the game has changed so much. It's still as popular and maybe as more popular than it's ever been before, but it has changed. You talk about Bill Walsh and the 49ers teams that he coached compared to today is just completely different. Why do you think the NFL remains as popular as it is when it is not the same game of the 80s and 90s?
Well, it hasn't. Leadership hasn't changed, right? You still have to have a coach who's going to hold players accountable. You still have to have execution. The style of play has changed, but we've seen this style change all through football. I write about it in the book. If Papa Bear, George Halas, didn't say to the other people in the league, it's okay to throw, we're going to embrace throwing the football, we would still be in the Neanderthal game. The rule changes allowed it to happen. The game isn't really changed. Actually, I think we're getting back to the game of yesteryear. I mean, the Eagles run a six-back offense, which is very similar to a single-wing offense that was dominating football in the 30s and 40s. The quarterback was the running back, right? Jalen Hurts is the running back. And so we're getting more of that. Now, the football looks different because that football back then looked like a volleyball. This football is tight and people throw it better. But until Clark Shaughnessy invented the T formation, we weren't throwing the football back then. And I think a little element of that. That's how I started writing the book, right? I used to get on the team bus and I had to sit behind Coach Walsh. That was my job because if he wanted something, I had to be there. And he would be doodling Clark Shaughnessy's single wing plays. And he wanted to learn about it. He studied the history of the game, the wing T, the T formation. I think we're there. I think the leadership, how we approach the players, is not going to change. How we approach them will, because obviously every generation is different than the last.
Michael Lombardi joining us here on the Blitz, the book, Football Done Right. Of course, over 30 years in the NFL, won 3 Super Bowls as an executive. Michael, you've been a GM. How about this for breaking news as we're talking? Nick Bosa has agreed to a contract extension with San Francisco. 5 years, $170 million, $122.5 million guaranteed. Imagine what it was like in that GM's office when they were working that thing out. What would take us inside what you expect, what was going on?
Well, he's one of the best. He's the best defensive player in the league, and so he was going, he knew Aaron Donald was making $30 million a year, $31 million a year. So his number was going to be slightly above that. And now we're going to get Micah Parsons is going to get a similar deal. This is what happens. Once one domino falls, another one comes in. Aaron Donald has been higher than everybody, including TJ Watt, who just did his deal at $28 million. This was not a hard deal to do. I do a show called The Lombardi Line on VSiN every day from 1 to 3 Eastern. And I have a podcast called The GM Shuffle, same thing on the DraftKings Network. And to me, this deal was going to get done. I said if it wasn't done by 5 o'clock today, he wouldn't play. I knew it was going to get done because it's not a hard deal to do because he's such a good player. Remember this, you can't overpay for great. Where you get in trouble is when you overpay for good.
Yeah, that's
I love that.
That is awesome. As a general manager, though, I mean, what are the games that are played between, say, you and an agent or however that works? I mean, this thing going up to the last minute like it did, I think surprises everybody. We all thought it would get done, but what are the games that are played?
Well, fear does the work of reason. Let's go back to that. The reason it got done is because he wants his game check. We're going to start paying the players this week. Fear does the work of reason. That's why.
All right, Mike.
It all goes back to Churchill. It all goes back to him.
So I want to go back to what you just said because I love that. It's probably going to be a promo here. Micah Parsons, we know he's going to become the highest paid defensive player when it's time. Jerry's already been putting money in the couch cushions for that. What do you do with Dak Prescott and his contract with his cap hit next year around $60 million? And you just said paying good versus paying great. Does Dak Prescott, how big of a deal would you forecast for him?
Well, I mean, we've seen this quarterback market go through the roof. I mean, Russell Wilson, he's not certainly worth it. He didn't live up to his contract. Deshaun Watson hasn't lived up to his contract. Unless Jerry's willing to take a stance and say, Dak, either you take this or I'm getting a new quarterback, And then Dak's got all the options. Dak holds all the cards. I don't know if Jerry's going to be willing to do that, because if he was willing to do that, he wouldn't have to give him this deal. But remember, here's where fear does the work of reason for the players. The teams are fearful if they don't sign Dak, they lose him. The quarterback position is a lot like the NBA. You know, in the NBA, when we watch these teams give ridiculous contracts to good players, and we say, why would they pay that guy that? That's not going to make them any better, right? Well, that's the same thing in the NFL, because you're scared if you lose this player, you're not going to be any good. You're going to be worse than you are, so you overpay him. That's what happened with Jerry and Dak. Dak's a good player. Dak's a really good player. But Dak's not worth the number that he got compared to relative terms. And unless you're prepared to take that on, unless you're prepared to challenge that in terms of your willingness to go out and draft a guy, you're going to be stuck with him. You can't leave your team like that.
Paying good.
Wow.
And again, quarterback position's different. Fascinating stuff. Michael Lombardi, the book is fantastic. It's called Football Done Right. Make sure you get it wherever you get your books. Ordered online. It will make you smarter. You listen to Ryan Nagel every day. He read the book. He sounds smarter over the last couple of days.
Thank you.
Michael,
Thank
always
you so
appreciate
much.
it, man.
That's very
Thank
nice of you guys.
Thank you for taking the time
Thank you so much.
this afternoon. Michael Lombardi here on the Blitz, joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.
Micah Parsons got a big smile on his face right now.
We ain't lying. Let's dive into that. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's Dallas Cowboys football on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. This Sunday, it's the Cowboys and Giants at 6 p.m.
Prescott with a quarterback option, running to the right, spilled, head over heels, into the end zone, touchdown Prescott.
Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, Ewald Kubota, Mother's Window Tint, the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chunkla, Woods Comfort Systems, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All-Star Sports Radio, celebrating their 30th year. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is going big.
That's right, Austin. Sports bettors can win a new truck, get the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus, and even get up to 30 risk-free bets.
Touchdown. BetUS also has a 150% casino sign-up bonus.
Blackjack, now you're talking, Austin. They also have live dealers and live betting on sports, including racetrack.
Get started today at BetUS.com, where the game begins.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
New Brake Best Select Pro. Professional grade brake pads and rotors from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Have you ever noticed that when the afternoon light hits your floors, you can see everything, including dust?
So much dust.
And that floor dust gets kicked up into the air, compromising the quality of air you and your family breathe. Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper is the fast and easy way to clean your floors with ultra-thick pads that trap and lock dust before it gets in the air. Just a couple minutes a day,
And dust is gone.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper. Proud partner of the American Lung Association.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Ever find yourself in a department store with a question, but you can't find anyone who actually works there, so you just wander? That's what it feels like when you call most banks. But at Frost, we have live customer service 24/7, so you can speak to a real human right when you call, every time you call. No phone tree, no bots, just help from a real human when you need it. It's about being there for you. It's about more than money. Frost Bank.
Smoky Mo's Texas Barbecue is the best barbecue in San Antonio. Tailgating or game watching? Build your own barbecue group pack with sliced brisket, turkey, pork loin, or meats of your choice, and all the classic barbecue sides. And let Smoky Mo's take care of the food while you cheer for the team. Early kickoff? Make everyone happy with Smoky Mo's breakfast taco boxes for a crowd. This season, we'd love to see you at our 7 Smoky Mo's locations, or order for pickup or delivery at SmokyMo'sBBQ.com.
Welcome to What If, the show where I, Jake from State Farm, answer your insurance what ifs. Today's caller is Gio. What's up?
Hey, Jake, what if I'm shopping for a new policy, but there are so many options that I freeze up and just can't choose?
It's okay. An agent can help you choose the right coverage. At State Farm, we're there for your what ifs.
Oh, now what if I need help deciding on dinner?
Tacos.
Good idea.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's B-A-B-E.
Try tacos.
Good idea.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star welcomes the future.
And so when someone says bulk up, why? What for? You should tell others to skinny up.
Victor Wabamama.
What day is it, Joe?
Hump Day.
Wimpy Wednesday.
Oh, we could do a Wimpy Hump Day Wednesday.
Too many jokes with that one.
Come
Victor
on.
Wabamama.
Got to be a way to tie all those in. We could make, Wimby's mascot the camel. They're both tall.
One hump or two.
What? 2 humps, of course.
Hump day. I don't know that we could have Wemby and Hump like back to back like that. I mean,
I don't know.
He's
There's
still
something there.
No, he's still a teenager. I mean,
There's
I'm
something
just,
there.
You can't go there, man.
That he may be a teenager, physically, but he's an NBA player.
I'm sure they're.
I'm sure he's gotten a lot of knocks on the door already. I'm sure he has.
Of course, he's 19.
Well, of course. How are the women in France?
Didn't Britney Spears come a knocking?
Well, I guess she did. He denied that, which is probably smart on his part, to be honest with you.
Technically, he didn't. His bodyguard did.
Well, that's a good point. He should have been given that opportunity.
Well, so how about those Cowboys?
Micah Parsons has got to be a very happy young man today. He knows what his future is about to be. 35, 36 million a year coming for Micah. I would say probably, right? So Nick Bosa, 170 million, 122 and a half guaranteed. It's about 34 mil a year. So yeah, you figure Micah's up there, especially if he has a great year, which everybody expects this year, then Jerry's going to have to pony up. I'd like to see the look on Jerry's face. Or do you think he knew? Kind of the neighborhood.
I think they knew the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I don't think this isn't a surprise to anybody. I mean, hell, we're on the phone as it breaks with a former GM,
which was perfect timing.
And he wasn't surprised.
No.
Not by the timing or the number.
Boy, and I tell you what, San Francisco had to get that done. I mean, they absolutely had to get that done.
And keep your eye on Kansas City. They've got one they have to get done too.
They do.
Right. And so, and I think Michael Lombardi's right. It's paycheck time in the NFL.
It is.
You know,
game checks.
A lot of people don't realize those guys don't get paid year round.
Right.
They get paid once a week during the season.
For 17 weeks or
18.
Hopefully longer.
Yeah, I think 18, right?
18 weeks, yeah.
However they divide it out, and now Nick Bosa has to make room in the parking lot for a forklift to come pick up that check that they leave on his chair in the locker every week so he can take it out to the Brinks truck that he's about to buy.
Yeah, well, he needs one. He certainly does. I don't know what 34 million divided by 18 weeks is.
Oh, but think about all those California taxes that guy's got to pay now that Micah Parsons will not.
You know what? If I don't know how, I don't know how you get around that, but I'm sure he's got a pretty good accountant.
Oh, they all do.
Yeah, that a lot of that's going somewhere investment wise that's not taxed.
Around all of that, but see what people don't realize, you get a performance tax too. So like if the Cowboys play a game in California, they have to
that's exactly right
pay taxes for that one game.
A lot of people don't know that, but like Spurs when they go to California,
yep
they're taxed.
Entertainers, when there's a concert in Los Angeles, they pay different taxes for that. I know a friend of mine, well, hell, you guys probably know him too, Nate Askew.
Oh yeah,
former Madison Maverick. And that guy was all geeked up to play a Super Bowl in San Francisco, and he's got family that lives out there, and buying tickets here and there. And he got his tax check and went, "Well, hell, it cost me money to play in Super Bowl."
Man,
50.
That's horrible. So it's about what, $2 million a week?
Yeah, 1.88.
That's a lot. That's a pretty good weekly check.
$2 million a week.
$2 million a week.
I think he'll be okay.
I think he'll pay the light bill.
I think his parents are awfully proud.
Yes, they are.
It's the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Blitz. 2 to 6 on YouTube and always at sasportsstar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
It is the breaking news this afternoon. San Francisco pass rusher Nick Bosa, now the highest paid defensive player in the NFL. Today, he agreed to a 5-year, $170 million extension with the Niners. $122.5 of that is guaranteed. Well, money, UTSA got some too from Harvey Najum. $2 million he donated to that program. Plus, he's buying about 7,100 tickets to Saturday's game.
Guess what day it is?
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Hump day.
Hump day.
Who's Mike?
Hump day.
He was a guy that was working there. Just wanted to, because the camel worked at the office in the commercial. That was his favorite day of the week.
You watch way too much television.
Well, real television, I guess, not the ones that have commercials in them.
Did you watch Hard Knocks?
I didn't.
It wrapped up last night.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
You didn't miss anything.
I didn't think I did. Oh, my goodness.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. The NFL season kicks off tomorrow. We'll be live out at the Roo Pub tomorrow from 2 to 6 to get you ready. Great place to go watch the game at the Roo. You got Kansas City and Detroit. If you are not near a TV or the Roo Pub, you can listen to the game tomorrow night. The great Kevin Harlan will be on these airwaves tomorrow in Kansas City in a game that you can listen to Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night. We got all the football you want here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, presented by Yingling Traditional Lager. And it's going to be so much fun as we are finally here at football season. Had a fantasy draft last night.
Yes. I got a D- or something for my fantasy draft. I thought it was pretty decent.
Well, of course you thought it was decent. It was your team.
Well,
and here's the problem. If you like your team at the end of the draft, you did it wrong.
Most
people don't like their team at the end of their draft.
But it's a badge of honor because I think it was 2 years ago. I got like an A and finished middle of the pack.
Yeah.
So, I take that as a badge of honor. When I saw that, I'm like, good draft, Joe. I was very pleased.
Yahoo gave me a B+.
See, you're going to lose. Although you lost last year.
I did lose last year.
I actually played in the Super Bowl against Bob Ballou, who will be on our airways here at 4:15. Talking UT football.
And who won that last year?
Bob Ballou.
So you lost last year, too?
Well, I was a runner-up. At least I got
Nobody gives a damn about the runner-up.
I got to the Super Bowl.
You got a little cash.
That's better. I did.
Did Phil and I ever pay you?
He did.
All right.
Yeah, Phil's pretty good at that. He'll pony up right away. As long as everybody pays.
Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't sure. Used to be you had a couple of weeks to pay.
Uh-huh.
Now I think everybody's got to get in there.
Somebody better tell that to Rob. I saw Phil and I on the little messages. Happy birthday, Rob. Send some of that birthday cash to your commissioner.
Well, as long as Phil doesn't call us. Hey, have y'all seen Rob? Don't see Rob. We're like two ships passing in the night.
Mm-hmm. So ready for football.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you go to sasportstar.com and register for the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge presented by A-Awesome at Tickets. Weekly winners get a $50 gift card to Five Oaks Ace Hardware. They're at Thousand Oaks and Jones Maltzberger. At the end of the year, whoever has the best record that doesn't work at the radio station gets $1,000 worth of tickets to A-Awesome Tickets.
That's a hell of a prize.
And nationally, there's like 50 grand on the line, but
that is a hell of a prize.
You got a better option of a better chance of winning the 1,000 from A-Awesome or a weekly gift card to Five Oaks Ace Hardware.
Either way, I'm good.
So
I'm just, obviously.
Have you registered yet?
I can't win, no, but I just,
But we have to play.
I just want to see my name up on the top of the list.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody knows, whoever wins knows that, well, they won, but there's an asterisk by it.
Your name won't be at the top of the list. It's every year it's between me and Pledger.
Yeah, well.
And we go back and forth on who wins.
You and Pledger.
That's why Rob Thompson quit offering steaks.
Because he lost.
Every year.
Well, there are other things that I'm involved in that I'd rather win, to be honest with you, because I actually can receive the prize.
Yeah, we understand.
Yeah.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
Did you see the Astros last night kick the crap out of the Texas Rangers?
Boy, the Rangers are just imploding.
At one point they were a really good team.
Yeah.
At one point they were a really good team. And you look at the Astros and the Mariners, it looks like it's going to come down to the wire. And I'm not going to count out the Texas Rangers just yet, because I think over the last 10 days of the season, the Astros, Rangers, and Mariners all play each other a whole bunch of times, which will decide the division. But the crap that I heard, because I like going back and forth on the TV between the Astros broadcast and the Rangers broadcast. And for the record, I am that dude. I like them both. And I do, except for weeks like this. Weeks like this, I am all Astros. All Astros. And what I heard last night on the Texas Rangers TV broadcast on Bally, nothing short of comical.
Jose Altuve, just the third player in Major League history to homer in each of his first three at-bats in the first three innings of a game. Manny Machado did it in 2016, and Carl Reynolds did it in 1930.
Well, hear me out on this.
Yeah.
Bouncer third base. Duran throws him out.
Listen to this
bragging
crap
about his 6 hits. I would just say, it's easy to get 6 hits when you hit them over the fence.
Yeah.
It's not like you don't give the other team a chance to even get you out. So it's not really. I mean, it's not that great.
No, I think you bring up a good point, right? Couldn't do it there.
Right. I mean, if he give the Rangers a chance, I think they could fairly well get him. I mean, even the base hit he had that he kept in the yard the other day, we threw him out at second.
If you keep it in the yard, you give us a chance.
Yeah.
It's not fair if you hit it over the fence. Clearly, that's sarcasm.
Well, you would hope so.
You know, it's clearly sarcasm, Joe.
Well, I mean,
clearly sarcasm.
Jose Altuve hits 3 home runs in his first 3 at-bats last night.
Uh-huh.
That's a pretty
special thing. And he hit a couple
thing.
the night before.
That's pretty special.
It's clearly sarcasm. Now, granted,
I'm not so sure. Those guys they're homers, right? I mean,
they're homers, sure, but that wasn't being homer. That was sarcastic.
That was very homerish.
No. Look, Astro Twitter was having a lot of fun last night with that, just beating the crap out of those guys. I thought it was comical. That's what I tweeted about it, comical. And even people didn't find the sarcasm in that. That's funny. It's not fair if you hit it over the fence, you don't give us a chance to throw you out at first. It's not impressive. I mean, a 6-game hit streak where you got to beat it out. Now that's impressive.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
They threw him out at second base last night.
Well, yeah.
They kept it in the yard.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Hey, give us a chance. I thought it was sarcasm. You didn't find that was dripping in sarcasm? You actually believed that?
Yeah, well, to some extent. And let me explain. Because the Rangers are imploding. Okay, and they got to be frustrated as hell, even as broadcasters who follow that team.
Frustrated in a dumb statement like that. That clearly has to be sarcasm.
Well, we should ask them.
Well, you got Dave Raymond on the phone?
I wonder what they would say it's sarcasm now, obviously.
A Little League broadcaster in a small little town in the middle of nowhere wouldn't say on the air, well, it's just not fair if he keeps hitting it over the fence that they're not giving our defense a chance to throw him out at first or second or third or at home.
It's not fair.
It's not impressive that he just keeps hitting home runs, and you want to talk about a hit streak.
Or you might want to say,
no, that's clearly dripping with sarcasm.
Sucks. They keep serving up meatballs.
Well, you can't say that either. You might get suspended.
You would.
See the Baltimore Orioles.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, good for them. That if that's the case, and I believe it is, then that was very clever. That was clever. That was entertaining.
It was sarcasm.
Yeah, it was. Well, it was entertaining.
All right, but
they're trying to make chicken salad.
Yeah. If you did not find that to be complete sarcasm and you took them seriously,
they're frustrated, Jason.
Texas A&M, Aggies, they head down to Miami this week. A game you can listen to here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star starting at 1:30 with the pregame show brought to you by Ewell Kubota, Just Pots, ABC Home and Commercial Services in the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. Apparently not a lot of Aggies are getting on a plane going to Miami this week.
Well, there aren't a lot of Miami people going either.
Yeah, which kind of surprises me. I would think this would be one of those Aggie road trips, man. Let's go to Miami for the weekend. Now, a lot of people would say South Beach. I would say go to Hollywood Beach. It's 20 minutes in an Uber. But apparently ticket sales are so bad for this game that the University of Miami is offering a BOGO. Buy one, get one free.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if this is attractive. If you buy the Aggie game, we'll give you the Georgia Tech game.
Well, I mean, if you want, you want to go to another football game, I think Miami's going to be pretty decent this year. So, but look, it's Miami. There's a lot of other things to do there. And obviously not getting a lot of support. That's crazy.
Well, you would think that there would be, I mean, Texas A&M, they should be able to sell that. Georgia Tech might be a tougher sell.
Well, A&M doesn't have that problem. They're going to sell out regardless.
No, I mean, but on the road, you would think Miami and A&M would be an easy game for Miami.
Yeah.
Right?
An easy game for Miami.
To sell.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. Like, I'm surprised. So were they throwing the BOGO here because they know they can't sell anything to the Georgia Tech game.
That's possible. Oh, that is a conference game, right?
It's still Georgia Tech.
I get it. There was a time where Georgia Tech was okay.
I know, in 1948. And they're still running the same up. I don't know.
I don't know. That
only
was
thing I know about Georgia Tech
headline.
is there's a place called Varsity Hot Dogs right there that has a great chili cheese dog right by their stadium.
Why am I not surprised? Holy cow.
Dude, if you're ever in Atlanta, you got to go to the Varsity. That is a great chili cheese dog.
Wow.
Or chili dog.
And I like
I know you do. That's
chili cheese dogs.
Why I tell you.
Yeah.
Or hey, Aggie fans want to go to the Miami for the weekend, you probably get great seats, and then maybe you can sell the Georgia Tech tickets you get for free and make an extra $12.
Well, the problem is not the tickets to the game. It's like, $1,000 a night for your hotel room. And I mean, Miami's an expensive place.
Not everybody has to stay at a bougie boutique like Joe Reinagel. You can find a $200 hotel.
Well,
you can
I was talking about the Motel 6 there on Main Street.
Well, I mean, stay off of Main Street in South Beach because that's by the hour.
Dude,
you can get the Marriott in Hollywood Beach for about $300 a night, and it's fantastic.
Okay, $300 a night.
Yeah, which is not $1,000 a night.
I know that's not much for you, but that's a lot of money.
Well, the Spring Hill's like $169.
Well, that's better. Although Spring Hill is, if you're just sleeping there, though, it's.
What, you don't like Spring Hill?
I'm not.
You get a living room. It's got a couch. It's got a bedroom with no door. Bathroom right in the middle.
I do like the Residence Inn. That's they have 2 rooms and
$229 a night because you get a door to your bedroom.
Right?
That Spring Hill doesn't.
Nice.
You're paying an extra $80 for a door.
Well, depending on who you're going with, you might need that door. you never know.
Traveling with Reinagel just seems different.
Yeah, right. It does.
Deion Sanders had a great weekend.
Yeah, he did.
He had a great time in Fort Worth. He had a great time becoming the talk of the college football universe. It was all great for Deion this past weekend until he got home.
Yeah, he had to go home, unfortunately for Deion, where his wife and somebody else apparently assaulted him.
What?
Yes. He called the police saying that his wife, and there was another person, it doesn't mention, or that I didn't see whether it was male or female, but she assaulted him. So Deion had her arrested, taken to jail, and he says he's pressing charges. Apparently his 2 sons were there and witnessed all of this as well. I take it things weren't too good in the Sanders household to begin with.
Yeah. I mean,
that's just a strange story. All the stuff that we're talking about Deion Sanders, and then his wife assaulted him when he got home.
And again, I mean, goes to show you have no idea what's going on in somebody's life.
That's absolutely correct.
You have no idea what is going on. And I'm guessing Deion, when he got out home, wasn't planning on calling the cops. And I'm guessing she probably wasn't planning on going to jail.
Probably not, but I hope she's got the number of the LaHood Norton Law Group handy. Because if she does, she's going to get some fine lawyers who are going to fight for her. That's for sure. Look, if you're accused of a crime, first of all, I'm sorry. But if you are, you want to take care of it. You want to have people representing you that know what the heck they're doing, and they're going to fight for you. The LaHood Norton Law Group is that group. And I tell you what, I've known Nico LaHood for a long, long time. He's a man of character, of honor. And I tell you what, if you're his client, he's going to fight tooth and nail for you. There is no question about it. Look, the LaHood Norton Law Group is going to get you honest, aggressive, trusting, expert, and fearless representation. They've got nearly a century of combined experience. In fact, the LaHood Norton Law Group can help you navigate that path forward. Your legal representation can make all the difference in the outcome of your case. If you need legal help, you need the LaHood Norton Law Group on your side. The team at LaHood Norton Law Group is your best defense. Let them be your legal bodyguards. You can get a free consultation if you call this number, 210-797-7700. That's 210-797-7700. Look, the sooner you make that call after you've been accused, the better. Call them, 210-797-7700 or online at lahoodnorton.com.
It's Dallas Cowboys football on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. This Sunday, it's the Cowboys and Giants at 6 p.m.
Prescott with a quarterback option, running to the right, spilled, head over heels, into the end zone, touchdown Prescott.
Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, Ewald Kubota, Mother's Window Tint, the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chunkla, Woods Comfort Systems, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, when you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available to you 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. I've used Hill Electric for a variety of projects at my home through the years. They do a fantastic job. Dimmer lights in the living room. They put up a motion light over one of the grills outside, extra outlets in the garage because the builder never puts enough in there. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. Whether you need additional outlets or USB ports, want to fix that fuse that always blows a flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price. Never a service charge, always free estimates. So call Hill Electric, 210-404-9074, 404-9074, or hill-electric.com. Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at H-E-B yet? Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds offer big, bold flavors like sea salt and cracked black pepper, spicy dill, and Korean barbecue. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein, bacony crunch. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at H-E-B today. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous. Learn more at southernrecipesmallbatch.com.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Tri-County Meat Market, your locally owned full-service meat market. Tri-County has 2 great locations, Keebner Road and Ralph Fair, stocked full of everything you need to up your grilling game. You're looking for the perfect cut of beef, they've got it, and if they don't have it, they'll cut it for you. Roast chicken, prepare foods, they've got it. The 5 for $25 is always in play. If you're a first responder, 10% off the best meat you're going to find. Tri-County Meat Market. Head over to either location, put some good meat on the grill, and thank me later.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Football is back, and this Sunday, San Antonio Sports Star is going live to kick off the Dallas Cowboys regular season. Join us this Sunday at the Twin Peaks Park North location starting at 3 o'clock as we pregame for the Cowboys and Giants. Sunday Fun Day with us. 29-degree beer, tasty snacks served up with the lovely ladies at Twin Peaks, and we've got your chance to win 3 Doors Down tickets. It's this Sunday out at the Twin Peaks Park North starting at 3 o'clock. Let the football festivities begin. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, and scenic views.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right?
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Ooh, pass me the intercom thingy.
Attention shoppers. If you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Don't pay for water, pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods.
Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Tomorrow on R&R in the morning, it's game day, baby. Chiefs, Detroit, we're getting you ready. We're looking at all the NFL games. That gumbo is hot. We're looking at the NBA. No meaningful movement with Dame. What's going to happen around the league? And is James Harden destined for failure? Lots to talk about around the world, but it is all football. Now back to the Blitz. Jason and Joe, the Root Pub going to be popping tomorrow. Can't wait to see what you do today.
Me neither.
What we're going to do today?
Yeah.
We've already done a lot.
We really have. We're not even halfway through the show.
Yeah, and Michael Lombardi on with us earlier in the show. If you missed that, you need to go to sasportstar.com and listen to it. I'm sure it'll be up there soon. How long does it take for that stuff to get up there?
I have no idea. I used to know it was there when it would get tweeted out, but I don't know if we do that anymore.
Gotcha. Okay.
I have no idea. James gets it up there as quickly as humanly possible.
He does.
Yes. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You can be a part of the show at Joe Reinagel 210, at Jason Minix on Twitter. Tweet the station at SA Sports Star. Dial up or text 210-656-ESPN. 656-3776. Hard Knocks wrapped up last night. You didn't miss much. If you haven't been watching it, you're not going to go back and rewatch it. There have been so many good sports documentaries lately. And by the way, Winning Time on HBO has been fantastic.
Is that right?
Season 2 has been fantastic. You might have heard Jeff Pearlman earlier today on the Jim Rome show talking about Winning Time and seeing if it will get picked up for season 3. That is a great show. So if you're looking for stuff, go there. But one of the better shows of the sports documentaries was Quarterback on Netflix. But old Peyton Manning says, we can't find any quarterbacks to do this on season 2. And well, quite frankly, having a quarterback do quarterback is pretty crucial part of the production.
Yeah, I think that's important. You know, it's funny because I read an article about that today, and he was saying that he actually wanted to do this 2 years ago and couldn't find quarterbacks then that wanted to do it. So I don't know if there will be a season 2 or not. Or if it is, it's going to be like Cooper Rush and, Colt McCoy and, backups.
Well, I look at, and I know Dak Prescott said, I do enough media. You don't need to see more of me. And he's a very private guy. Right? He is.
Sure.
Right? There was nothing in quarterback that felt overly intrusive. Right? Kirk Cousins became very likable.
He did.
What would a show like that do for the perception of Dak Prescott? Quite frankly, Hard Knocks, Aaron Rodgers is likable. And if you're likable, you're sellable. How much more money could these guys make in endorsements? And I know Dak already has a long list of products that he endorses, but how many more could he do? I mean, it's hard to see a TV commercial that doesn't have a Manning on it still.
Oh,
Aaron
yeah.
Rodgers is in a bunch, although he has parted ways with State Farm.
He has.
He has.
Wow.
10 years.
That's crazy. Well, isn't he owner of, I think he's got a bunch of Papa John's and.
Well, Peyton Manning does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Or did in Denver.
I bet he still has them.
Yeah, well, buy and sell these things.
Well,
they're restaurants.
I think Shaq has the record for buying every commercial he does. I think he has a piece of it.
I think he probably does. He and Magic Johnson. Although Magic doesn't do all the commercials, but Magic Johnson owns a ton of stuff.
Well, good for him. I wish I owned a bunch of stuff.
You know who's going to own a bunch of stuff in coming years? Micah Parsons.
Yes, he is.
Micah Parsons is probably happier today than Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa did come to terms about an hour ago. 5 years, $170 million. 122 of that guaranteed. According to John Machota from The Athletic, Micah Parsons says, quote, super happy for Nick Bosa, man. He really showed why he was the best player in the league last year. It gives you something to chase. And not in terms of his contract, but in terms of how great he was. He knows that I'm coming for him. I won this year, and I know you'll be coming for it next year, he said.
And then Micah said, you damn right.
Yep. Well, again, for Bosa to say, I won this year, I know you're coming next year, you're damn right I am. And Micah Parsons right now, the betting favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Well,
he passed T.J. Watt, who opened as the favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Now, if you're gambling on that, then you've got a problem.
Do you have a phone number for me to call?
I'm just saying. Oh, did you already put some money down on Micah?
Yeah, plus 170.
Would you throw down $1?
Maybe. No, I don't know.
What are they? Do you have the odds there?
Let me see if the odds are right here. I do have it 6-1.
6-1.
It opened at 6-1. It's 4-1 now.
Okay, so that's Micah.
Yeah. TJ went from 5-1 to 9-1. Nick Bosa is right now 12-1.
Now see, wow.
Aaron Donald 20-1.
Yeah. Those
Joey Bosa 40-1.
Those top three. I don't know.
Well, Myles Garrett's 5-1.
Well, I'll tell you what, Joey. You throw some money down on Joey Bosa. I could do that. That's a good.
Well, it's a good bet if you down. Yeah, because the payoff is going to be better.
That's what I'm saying. And he's got a realistic chance at that. I guess he's not as talented as his brother.
Not as rich either.
Well, no. I'd be calling him, though.
You think about the Lucky Sperm Club, man.
No kidding.
You know, I mean, the Bosas, the Watts,
wow,
the Gronkowskis. How many other families where there are just so many, but not just. I've got a couple of sons that made it to the league.
Yeah.
But if you look at like the Watt family, you know, JJ over 100 million, TJ over 100 million. What's that other slap that they got? Right? I mean,
Derek.
Who?
Derek.
Derek, the other Watt.
Well, the Manning family, too.
The Manning family. I mean, you just, the Bosas.
Yeah, well, I wasn't a member of that club.
Think about the Diggs family.
The Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it is pretty incredible how one family is just so athletically blessed.
Well, in the baseball world, the Molina family.
Yeah.
They had like 5 guys at one time in the majors. Yeah, I don't know what happened to us, Minix. There's the Lucky Sperm Club, and then there's
Ryan Eagle.
There's just the Sperm Club.
You're lucky to be here.
Just happy to be here.
Well, I guess at that point we're all lucky, right?
I guess so.
I mean, you get that swimmer.
Yeah. That one just swam right on by.
Avoid the goaltender.
Unfortunately, you have to have a little discipline in your life growing up to become like the Bosas or the Watts.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Well, and I didn't have any, so I was a knucklehead.
Obviously.
Yeah.
When you think about all the different kicker families that are out there. I mean,
Are we thinking about kickers?
We never think about kickers. We'll explain that a little bit later on in the show. Don't forget, Jane Slater will join us at 5 o'clock. Jeff Traylor at 5:30 here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocation, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday, on-site x-ray casting and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. If you're injured, get to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
It's R&R in the morning.
Thursday on R&R in the morning. Rudy's in the hole, but we're looking at the NFL up and down all the games, starting with the game tonight. Chiefs in Detroit. We're also going to look forward to the college football season. Is Texas ready for Bama? And can A&M head into South Florida and bring it home? The NBA is always top of mind. No meaningful movement on Dame Lillard. Party starts at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Life moves fast. No one has time for a car, truck wreck, or commercial vehicle accident. At Davis Law Firm, we get it. When you call the force, you don't have to worry about insulting offers from insurance adjusters, property damage, or car rental. We recently settled a wrongful death case in a commercial vehicle accident for $5 million. Net to clients was $2.8 million. I'm Jeff Davis. If you were in a car, truck wreck, or hit by a commercial vehicle, call me at 444-4444. You got it. There's only one number to remember. 4. Attorney consultation by appointment only. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio. Davis Law Firm is a proud official partner, personal injury attorney of the San Antonio Spurs.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about two things. Easy cleanup with the Ryobi 18-volt ONE+ Whisper Series leaf blower and football. That's right, Reese Davis. With variable speed, it has the power for when you really need it and just the right amount when you don't. And the ONE+ battery platform means you go from yard work to DIY in just a click, so you can get projects done faster.
Which means more time for football.
For football. Upgrade your Saturday with Ryobi and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car really needs a wash.
The $20 Meguiar's bundle includes Gold Class Car Wash for a showroom shine.
Get in zone.
And what about my tires?
Just spray the included Hot Shine tire coating and you're all set.
Get in zone.
The inside is not great.
No problem. The quick interior detailer in the bundle can help with that too.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Happy Hour is back at Twin Peaks. Get up here Monday through Friday from 2 to 7 and score some sweet deals like $1 off all wine, liquor, and cheap shots. Freezing 29-degree cold draft brews and select apps for $2, $4, and $6. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, and scenic views.
It's the Awesome Tickets Pro Football Pick'em Challenge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your shot at $50,000 nationally, while weekly winners locally get a $50 gift card to 5 Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks. At the end of the season, locally, the best overall record wins the San Antonio Grand Prize of $1,000 worth of tickets to any event from Awesome Tickets. Sign up today at sasportstar.com. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on this Wednesday afternoon.
Absolutely. What day is it?
Wednesday afternoon.
Hump day. Is that the camel or was it Joe? You just don't know.
Well, anybody watching on YouTube.
Well, they knew. Hump day. Hump day. Oh, now that. Well,
you're so bad.
Hump day. Hump day.
You act like you've never been on camera before.
I know. It's been a long time.
You know, you think about this Cowboys team as we're ready for the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are obviously some injuries. We're not going to know about Tyler Smith probably till game time. He did not practice
Didn't practice today. Neither did Sam Williams. Neither did Donovan Wilson.
And, you know, those are a couple guys. Obviously, you're going to have to do that. And Sam Williams, you think about the run defense last year. That was a problem for the Dallas Cowboys. Have they done enough defensively to be better against the run, knowing they open against Saquon Barkley?
I mean, the question's, obviously very specific to last year. It's something I talked about Monday. The only thing that really carries forward from last year to this year is statistically is your reputation. So if you look at the way we're built on defense, I think we really established that in 21. It was definitely the case in 22. People are going to try to run the football on us because of the success of our pass rush, and we've been the best in the league 2 years in a row taking the ball away. So I think the obvious is it starts with the run game, and the things that come off of that. So we've committed more time, which we have on offense too, to help our defense training camp on the action pass game, because obviously we expect the run to be a focal point each and every week, and the action pass off of that is something that we got to do a really good job of.
Interesting, and you just don't know. I mean, obviously they draft Mozzie Smith for that reason, to help with that run defense, but boy, it's going to be a big test, obviously, when you got Saquon Barkley coming at you.
Well, and again, I look at the Giants. They've added some skill players that they didn't have, and they weren't an awful team last year. And one of the things that Mike McCarthy did say that they've added that you might not be thinking about offensively, skill position, a lot of speed.
More speed. I think, the first thing, I don't just talk about the defense. So, but I think the biggest thing we're focused on, the personnel, we obviously acknowledge that, the additions that they've made. But, this time of year, to me, September football, there's so much that's in common. And, you got to watch that you don't chase every ghost, on all three phases. I just came from a conversation that is fresh on my mind with that. But, they do a lot. They're scheme heavy through all their phases, and but their offensive, playmaker, has gone up obviously with the additions. So we're focused on that.
Going to be interesting to see, because I don't think anybody knows what the Giants are going to look like. That's what's just nuts about week one in the NFL. I mean, you can sit here and we've talked about the Cowboys and what they're doing and who they've added and all of this kind of stuff, and you don't know what they're going to look like. We expect them to look good Sunday night. Don't know anything about the Giants other than all I've heard is Daniel Jones looks better.
Well, and again, a lot of guys look good in August. And for the Cowboys, this is preseason game number one for those starters.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting to see, can they live up to the expectations? You think about this year's Dallas Cowboys team on paper, and it's not just me, for all you people that just accuse me of being a homer, it's not just me saying this, right? I mean, you look around, there are people that are picking the Cowboys to go very far in the playoffs, maybe even be in Las Vegas. in February. There are some people that don't have the Cowboys making the playoffs because history says, well, they won't, right? We don't know. Now, Jason Garrett, when he was the coach, Jason Garrett loved his sayings, and every team does. If you look at the Jets and you watched Hard Knocks like last night, they're saying this year is finish the wall. And every week in the Jets facility, they've got little areas of the wall, and they're going to put pictures up from that game. Cool action photos. I'm sure a photographer who was very excited to get that contract, and the guy putting up the art. Finish the wall, right? Right?
Yeah.
For the Cowboys this year, Mike McCarthy presented the theme of the season in the team meeting.
The theme is Carpe Omnia, seize everything. So presented it to the team today, and it just really has a few parts to it. And frankly, probably the players should speak on it, because I'd be curious how much they paid attention. But it's a good theme. I think themes are important. They come to you at different points of the off season. So this kind of came a little different. I think it needs to illustrate where you feel your football team's at, where they are in their, progression towards winning a championship. And, I think it's very, very difficult to win a Super Bowl in this league. There's no question about it. That's proven each and every year, but sustaining success is, I think personally, in my experience, is a bigger challenge. So just giving them, the touch tone to connect with, Carpe, seize, Omnia, everything. So is the way we're looking at this season. And it's, we have an empty picture frame in the front of the team room, and illustrating pictures pictures say 1,000 words, but the reality of it is an empty frame is everything, because it's all the possibilities, capabilities, what's in front of us, and are we going to do what we need to do every single day, everything we can do to tradition.
Seize
everything.
I like that. I don't know that all the coaches go to the motivational speaker seminar, and there must have been something about pictures, since, the Jets is fill the wall with photos. With the Cowboys, it's an empty frame. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah. I think you have to have something, right?
Well, sure.
I mean, most coaches, I know Jeff Traylor does that with UTSA.
Absolutely.
So, you got to have something. And I wonder, did McCarthy come up with that on his own? That would be my question. Or did somebody help him with that? He said,
doesn't matter, get better.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. I'm sure it came to him in a dream.
In a dream, huh?
He was looking at the menu. Yeah. It's the sampler platter at one of them fancy restaurants.
The Carpe Omnia.
That sees everything.
Yeah, let's go. That's the NFL season is such a roll of the dice. I mean, long time. You got to be lucky, and we'll see. I'm ready.
Seize everything for the Dallas Cowboys this year. You got football this weekend. You're going to fire up the grill. It is that time of year. But before you do, make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market, because that great meal starts with great meat, and Tri-County has everything you need to up your grilling game. It's football season, so I don't know. Maybe you're thinking ribs. You want beef ribs, you want pork ribs, whether baby backs or St. Louis style, those English crosscuts. Their seasoned fajitas are fantastic. In fact, that was what I had for dinner last night, the beef fajitas. They also have the chicken fajitas. Maybe you want to do a tri-tip, picanha, brisket burgers, sausage. They've got everything you need with the quality you expect. Tri-County Meat Market is locally owned and full service. You can always take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25. And at Tri-County, they always offer a 10% discount for military and first responders. They have two great locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Hebner, or online at tricountymeat.com.
It's Dallas Cowboys football on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. This Sunday, it's the Cowboys and Giants at 6 p.m.
Prescott with a quarterback option, running to the right, spilled, head over heels, into the end zone, touchdown Prescott.
Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, Ewald Kubota, Mother's Window Tint, the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Woods Comfort Systems, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters has a smoking hot deal. Purchase any Mother's Window Tint, car stereo, remote start, or car alarm and get a 1 month free membership to the CFL Smoke Shop's private Amsterdam Club, located next to Mother's on 281 North. Make your car go thump, 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 mother thump with one of our subwoofers, stereos, backup cameras, name brands, and expert installation. Remember, do it at Mother's and save!
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
You know, if you're shopping for a new vehicle, you need to go see my friends at Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira Itonado complex. Very easy for me to tell you about and recommend Ancira because I am a longtime Ancira customer, and it's because of their great customer service before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. That great customer service is why Ancira has been a top family-run dealership in San Antonio for decades. And you know Price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira Itonado complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
Have you or a family member been arrested? The Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, can help regardless of the legal battle you are facing, personal injury or criminal defense. Attorney Jesse Hernandez and his team are ready to fight for you. Calls are answered 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Call 210-807-8656 or visit jessehernandezlaw.com. That's 210-807-8656 or jessehernandezlaw.com. The Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla.
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone.
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up AutoSave in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools. One bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
AutoSave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about two things: the one-of-a-kind wood-fired flavor of a Traeger Ironwood XL grill
and football.
That's right, Desmond Howard. Get fired up for the game in just a tap with Traeger's intuitive touchscreen. Then throw on your favorites and monitor the grill from anywhere with Wi-Fi technology. So you spend less time staring at the grill,
which means more time for football.
Upgrade your Saturday with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
If you travel as much as the San Antonio sports guys travel, while you're on the road, be sure to take us along. Listen to the 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star live stream anywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
All you cool people, you better leave now. This is about to happen.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. NFL season. I thought it was interesting. Last night we had a draft, a fantasy draft.
We did, yes.
Did you take Zeke?
Zeke, no.
Zeke went late, obviously.
Yeah, I took the main running back. I can't remember his name, but he's an up-and-comer.
Ramondre Stevenson?
That guy, yes. Ramondre Stevenson.
Who won't get any goal line carries because they added Zeke for one thing.
Well, he won't need them.
Oh, okay.
As long as he gets 100 yards, I'm good.
Man, as long as Bill O'Brien doesn't punt on third down. We'll see what he learned from Nick Saban.
Right.
Zeke Elliott has a new necklace, a new chain.
Uh-huh.
Did you see this on Twitter?
Have not.
I just retweeted it. It's Bleacher Report. Zeke's reversible chain repping both his current and former numbers. Now, I don't know what he paid for this, but it looks like something. I'm no jewelry expert, but his entire Patriot paycheck went to this. It's pretty cool. If you flip it one way, it says 15, and then it reverses out, and it's 21. Nothing but diamonds in this thing.
Well, that's probably Jerry Jones money still, don't you think?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's repping. Do you think he's had this a while? You know, his old college number?
Well, I don't know, but I'm just saying if he just got it, he made a lot of money.
He did.
As a Dallas Cowboy.
But he didn't have a chain like this, apparently, until now. So, I mean, this school, if he's out in Boston, he's at 15. If he's in DFW, he flips it around and he's 21.
Nice. It's
If he goes to Columbus, he could do either.
Well, I don't know who made that, but props to the jeweler. Because that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. I don't know that I could pull this off, but it is pretty cool.
Well, no, you couldn't pull it off, but he can.
I couldn't afford it.
Exactly. But I mean, seriously, props to the jeweler there. That's a hell of a job.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had to start from scratch, right? That jeweler.
You ever done custom jewelry?
Have I ever done it? No. Have I ever bought any? Yes.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean.
But not like
clearly
something like that.
Well, no, but I mean, celebrity diamond setter Gabriel French.
Gabriel French
did the job.
Props to you, buddy.
Mm-hmm. See, if I ever need custom jewelry, I go see Mark Sadowski over at Sadowski Jewelers. And you think about like different things that you get from like your your mother or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. Like, well, they can take older jewelry and turn it into something that either your wife or your daughter would want to wear, not what their grandmother's wearing.
Because you're a cheap SOB. You're not going to buy something new.
I don't necessarily know that it's cheaper when you do something custom.
Okay. All right.
You just already have the diamonds and the gold, and they're just repurposing it. It's like updating the
cheaper.
kitchen.
You don't have to buy the diamonds and gold.
Well, I mean, the customization part of it is not necessarily cheaper. But yeah, sure, if you want to go that route.
Just saying.
My mother has a lot of gaudy jewelry that my wife would never wear.
Does this article or TMZ, does it say how much this cost for Zeke Elliott? I'm curious.
Did I just see 70 carats?
Oh, $260K.
I told you it's a game check with the Patriots.
Well, sure, that's nothing for Zeke, right?
$260K. Yeah, you're right.
Nothing
for Zeke.
I'm really surprised. Honestly, I thought it would be more than that. Just looking at it.
Well, maybe they're not real diamonds.
No, they're round cut diamonds. It says
70 carats of emerald and round cut diamonds.
$270K.
Well,
like they go in with your credit card and say, I'll just charge it.
Declined.
Exactly. Hey, you write a check, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, no, they're not doing that either.
Then go down and play some basketball with that check. Was it Rob that took the first kicker last night, or did he take the first defense?
I don't know. I was having a hard time figuring out I was having a hard enough time just figuring my guys out.
Defense and kickers, once somebody breaks that seal, there seems to be a run on them, right?
Yeah.
In just about every draft. Our good friend Indy Clue, who joins us every Tuesday, he is not a fan of NFL kickers. In fact, he went off on kickers a couple weeks ago when he was on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Larry David listens to this show. Maybe. It's a possibility that Larry David listens to the Blitz, because Larry David on the Rich Eisen show quoted Indy Clue talking kickers.
Number one, I'm losing the goalpost.
What?
Why are there goalposts?
Okay.
Why are kickers, okay, they don't have football skills. They're not football players. I'm sure they're wonderful people. Why are they kicking a ball through goalposts to decide games? It doesn't make any sense at all. There's no need for goalposts. Why not just have leaping frogs to decide games? See if a frog can leap through a little goalpost that you set up, okay, on the floor. And if the frog can leap through the goalpost, feet are deciding games, and they shouldn't. Why should one player with this skill, like the guy on the Ravens, why should this one player who does nothing but kick a ball be deciding games when you have 52 other players who are actually playing? Maybe.
Yes.
After I got rid of the goalposts, nobody can make an argument for field goals and even extra points. There's no argument for it.
So you're going for it on fourth down every time. That's what it goes every time.
Every time.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay.
If you're on the other team's 30-yard line,
yes,
you know you've got 4 downs to get a first down. You're not playing for a field goal. You're playing to score a touchdown. This field goal kicking, I can't stand it.
Nobody likes kickers. Poor kickers.
It almost sounded like when Indy Clue was on the Blitz a couple 3 weeks ago.
Absolutely.
It was good stuff. Indy texted that to me at 8 o'clock this morning.
Well, I tell you what, a lot of people, I enjoy the extra points in the field goals. I don't mind that. I don't want to see them going for it on fourth down every time.
You enjoy them or you tolerate them?
Well,
there is a difference.
It's part of the game.
Well, it's only because you told it. Rich Eisen said, Larry David, you're a commissioner. What's the first thing you'd get rid of kickers?
It's part of the game. I wouldn't do that. Part of the game.
Okay.
I mean, it's like they're going to get rid of kickoffs pretty soon. I don't want that.
You like the touchback?
Well, the NFL has turned it into a touchback, unfortunately. But I enjoy the kickers. It's a part of the game. It's always been a part of the game. Leave it alone.
Look at that. Joe Reinagel defending kickers.
Yes.
All of a sudden, he's a softie. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the Aggies. San Antonio's Sports Center.
It is the big news of the day. San Francisco pass rusher Nick Bosa, now the highest paid defensive player in the NFL. He agreed to a 5-year, $170 million extension with San Francisco today, $122.5 of that guaranteed. Cowboys practice report is out. Jordan Lewis, full participant. That's good news. Tyler Smith, Sam Williams, and Donovan Wilson, they didn't practice today. That's not good news.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Guess what day it is?
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Welcome to Hump Day.
Hump day.
If Joe Reinagel, what's your name?
Yeah, that's it.
Could only work on Wednesdays.
I know it. You think they still pay me for a full week?
No.
Mike.
There's so much entertainment, though. On Hump Day.
You just entertain yourself.
Well, I'm having a good time. Sometimes you got to do that. And nobody else is entertaining me. Yeah, I was just looking through here.
Is that a shot at Pledge?
Well, kind of. Now, Pledge is entertaining. He made that whole hump day thing. Let's talk about you. You're over there being a stick in the mud.
What do you mean?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
About kickers?
Yes.
On the text line at 210-656-3776, Roger says, Joe, I'm with you. Can't believe it. If you don't want the kicker to beat you, then score enough points that a field goal makes no difference.
Yes. I was sitting here looking at my draft from last night and wondering why I got a D+. Yeah, I mean, it's a D+. And, they give you this whole thing. It says Mulligan's draft, swinging and missing on the green.
Well, sounds normal.
What the hell? Jeez.
Now, our buddy Renee over at Yingling says, yes, get rid of kickers. Second and fourth quarters at 2-minute mark, go to 5-yard first downs. Now, that's some crazy-ass thinking there.
Maybe he's partaking in some of those Yinglings.
Well, I mean, the Alliance tried some interesting stuff. You see it in the USFL and the XFL. 5-yard first downs, I'm not down with it, but I think if kicking isn't an option, at that point, punting is an option. You got 4 downs to get 10 yards. You should be able to do that.
Well, you should, but I mean, the NFL's been around a long time. A lot of teams punt. They can't do it.
Who was that? What was it? Arkansas, that high school coach that never punted?
He just went for it every time.
Every time. Every time. And he won a whole bunch of games until he didn't. But he, I think I was like on Real Sports or something. There's a high school coach that never punts the ball. Doesn't even have a punter on the roster.
Wow. Well, good for him. I mean, that's fantastic. His name is Kevin Kelly.
Yep.
I don't know where he's at, but hey, what?
Well, he became a college coach and punted on that after one season.
Yeah, because
according to the headline,
his boss looked at him and said, "What do you mean you didn't punt? Are you crazy?" What do we hear all the time? It's okay to punt. It's okay to punt.
It's not okay to punt. The cliche with every coach that you ever talk to, every possession ends with some sort of kick, and you're giving yourself the best chance to win. So you're either punting, you're kicking a field goal, or you're kicking an extra point. If every possession ends with a kick, Joe, you give yourself a chance to win. Turnovers will kill you.
Kill you. That's what I'm saying. It's okay to punt. But if you don't have a punter, what the hell are you going to do? And if you don't make it, you turn the ball over. Kills you.
Boom. Every time. The LSU going for it on 4th down inside the 5-yard line the other day.
Exactly.
Killed them. Old Clemson, 2 red zone turnovers and 2 missed kicks because you can't trust a college kicker.
Unless his name is Dicker. He was pretty good.
Who's now in the NFL.
I like kicking. It's a big part of the game.
Somebody texted in the Yingling guy is a dumbass. Hey, Renee, that was for you. Wow.
Man, that's violent.
Well, 5-yard first downs.
Exactly.
Although you do change the timing rules inside the 2-minute mark of the second and fourth quarters.
True. I mean, I like the drama of it. A guy's lining up for a 49-yard field goal with a game on the line, no time left on the clock, and you either love him or you hate him. That's drama. That's reality TV.
Sure.
Jason Minix.
We only care about the kickers in those situations.
Well, sure.
Outside of that, they're not real people.
That's when they earn their money.
That's when they earn their money, or they don't.
Or they don't.
Or they don't, and then we get mad at them, like the Cowboys kicker from a year ago.
Brett Maher.
We don't say his name anymore.
We don't?
Well, because he got the yips in the playoffs and started missing extra points.
Is he in Denver, or he got cut there too?
He got cut.
Got cut there too, didn't he?
He's working at Costco.
Well, it's good. I enjoy it. I really do. I enjoy it. So
Gabe says it's called football.
Right. And that's part of it.
Here, Rob is dialing up 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Kind of with the same theory. What's up, Rob?
Well, yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. The kicking game is the only thing that keeps the foot in football. So I'm with Joe on this one.
Yeah, but they run on feet, right? You know.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing.
Well,
you got to kick the ball. That's part of it.
How did they call it football to begin with? It wasn't because of the kicker.
Well, and then the poor guys that are kickers and they don't have to go play soccer. It's much better playing.
At some point, they were soccer
American
players.
Football, and they got sick of it, and they want to go play real football.
Well, no, it's they weren't good enough to play professional soccer, so they go to the football team.
I don't think that's true. Look, it's the drama of it. I love that, and I want to keep it.
Have you seen some of the salaries of those soccer players?
Well, not all of them. They're not all messy.
Dude, well, no, they're not all messy, but Pledge, got a little homework for you. Seriously, don't wave me off. Pledge is waving me off like he's a damn catcher. All of a sudden, he's Johnny Bench over there. No, dude. No.
Johnny Bench, you went way back, didn't you?
Just to see if Pledge even knew who that was.
I don't know that he does. Johnny Bench. I haven't thought about him in a while.
What is the average salary of an MLS player? I don't even want to go European soccer. Can we Google what is the average
salary? They make more.
Huh?
I said, yeah, because they make more.
Who?
European soccer players.
Well, yeah, no, but let's keeping it here. An MLS player, I don't know what their average salary is.
I don't think it's that big. MLS?
Yeah, but that's what I want to find out.
So a kicker in the NFL, a good one, would make a couple, 2 or 3 million?
Rarely. I mean, a Justin Tucker, most of those guys are under $1 million.
Oh, come on.
Well, I mean, we could Google the average salary of an NFL kicker.
This is great radio.
It really is. It really is. The average MLS salary is $530,262.
Okay,
up 3.5% this year from the $512,000 in 2022.
So they're still way behind because according to Google, most NFL kickers are somewhere between $1 and $2.5 million a year. Case closed. Boom.
Most kickers are making $1 million.
That's what Google says.
Well, I'm guessing a guy like Justin Tucker is bringing up that salary,
bringing up the average. He's making $6 million.
Yeah, he's bringing up the average salary.
And I'm trying to see. I promise
you that Aubrey kid, he's taking out a loan to buy lunch at the Star.
Well, he probably is. What does he? Brett Maher is with the Rams now, according to this, and is making $370,000.
See,
I don't see Aubrey on here.
Better to be a kicker than a running back.
Well, yeah, but you gotta have thick skin to be a kicker. That's for sure.
Got to have thick skin to be a running back
and a short memory.
Yeah, I think that's all NFL players.
Well, perhaps.
I'm just saying.
Look, they're sick and tired of playing soccer, and they want to go kick. It's an easy life. You don't have to do anything.
3244 says, wasn't it derived from rugby? They kick a lot in rugby.
They do.
They do. Maybe.
I don't know.
Let's talk real football.
Yeah.
Texas,
I'm ready for that.
Alabama, Saturday night. Bob Ballou from KI Television in Austin. Our Longhorn insider joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, I want to tell you about my good friends at Parkhurst New Vision, voted best LASIK in San Antonio, which is really a no-brainer of all no-brainers. But I have real-time experience with these folks, and they're great. Had lens replacement surgery. It's been about 7-8 weeks ago, and finally got my last tune-up. That's what they call it. They set it, right? So it's now in there. It's perfect. I can see better now than I could see 30 years ago. It is incredible. Don't need readers anymore. Don't need glasses. In fact, I gave Rob Thompson my readers. I hope he's enjoying those readers, but he should call my friends at Parkhurst New Vision because, well, 210-585-2020, you go over there, they're going to check you out, make sure you're a candidate, and then you can ask all the questions you want. I had a ton of them. They answered every question to my satisfaction. They offer a variety of services like the lens replacement surgery I had, LASIK, and, of course, cataract surgery, all are going to change the way you see the world. It's Parkhurst New Vision. You can get them online at sanantoniolasik.com, or better yet, give them a call, 210-585-2020.
It's Dallas Cowboys football on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. This Sunday, it's the Cowboys and Giants at 6 p.m.
Prescott with a quarterback option, running to the right, spilled, head over heels, into the end zone, touchdown Prescott.
Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, Ewald Kubota, Mother's Window Tint, the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Woods Comfort Systems, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Moments like seeing my son's team cheer him on mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative NBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Attention business owners. If you had W-2 employees during the pandemic, you are potentially leaving a lot of money on the table. I'm sure you've heard of the ERC, or Employee Retention Credit, from people promising outrageous returns and charging an arm and a leg to get what's rightfully yours. If you'd like to talk to someone born and raised here, to an expert you can meet in person and not some salesman in New York, visit me, Mike Rooney, at sanantonioerc.com. Not everyone is going to get approved, and I can't promise $26,000 per employee, but it's worth looking into at sanantonioerc.com.
Football season means grilling season, and Five Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks is your one stop for all your tailgating and home gating needs. With one of the best grilling sections, Five Oaks Ace Hardware has a huge selection of Traeger, Weber, Big Green Egg, and Blackstone, plus all your grill accessory needs with over 300 spices and rubs, over 20 brands of charcoal, wood chips, pellets, and everything you need for tailgating or home gating. Five Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks near Jones Maltzberger.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All-Star Sports Radio. Celebrating their 30th year, our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is offering a 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, the perfect offer for crazy plays, like the famous butt fumble. It's the GOAT of embarrassing plays.
Really, remember when you bet me you could do a live show with a GOAT as your co-host, and he face-kicked you?
Thankfully, I didn't take the under on that one.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect today. The industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets. BetUS.com, where the game begins.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Do you love wings but think they're not spicy enough? Well, Twin Peaks is launching a new wing sauce that is just for you, you hot little devil. Have your wings sauced and tossed in the new hottest sauce. That's the hottest wing sauce yet. Can you handle the heat? Twin Peaks eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancer pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax.
Touchdown!
a new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax, 100% natural male enhancement formulas, only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
Tomorrow on R&R in the morning, it's game day, baby. Chiefs, Detroit, we're getting you ready. We're looking at all the NFL games. That gumbo is hot. We're looking at the NBA. No meaningful movement with Dame. What's going to happen around the league? And is James Harden destined for failure? Lots to talk about around the world, but it is all football. Now back to the Blitz. Jason and Joe, the Root Pub going to be popping tomorrow. Can't wait to see what you do today.
Talking about your favorite subject today, Rob, the Texas Longhorns. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'm proud of that.
He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Let's talk some Longhorns with our UT insider, Bob Ballou from KI Television in Austin. He joins us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Bob, before we talk UT Alabama, the important stuff, what did Yahoo grade your fantasy draft last night?
I bet you can guess based on my name. Bob Ballou got a B.
Oh, how about that? Well, you're lucky. I got a D+.
Well, Joe, that's listen. When you draft Tony Romo and DeMarco Murray, that's what happened.
They were great players. I thought,
This is not a Legends fantasy league. This is an actual.
And I have to agree with them. They gave my worst pick of the night was Mike Evans. So
that's one that I actually like that pick. He's done every year of his career. He's been awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, this whole thing where he's just like, I mean, I get it. I know who his quarterback is now. I know what everybody thinks of that. But like, he's still Mike Evans.
Exactly.
So just to think he's not. I mean, even if he ends up with 700 or 800 yards and 6 touchdowns, that's a good year. Like there are a lot of guys that would crave those kind of numbers in the NFL.
Well, and from a fantasy standpoint, that's what you're looking for.
Right.
Line.
And I'm proud of it. I take that as a badge of honor. I'm glad I got a D+.
Yeah, you make sure you send that email back to Yahoo when you're in the final again.
Exactly.
You really think he's going to be in the final again?
Absolutely.
I don't know. He's there like every other year. I mean, I know Jason because I play him every other year in the final. That's why I'm saying.
Well, Jason's never been there, so he doesn't know what he's like.
See, and that's not true either. That was a nice humble brag for you. In those opposite years, although last year Rob Thompson auto-drafted and won the damn title and still hasn't returned the trophy.
I need my trophy, by the way. I because of my championship last year, I would like the trophy, please.
Yeah, especially that nice Canadian club that's in there.
Yeah, I mean, watching Joe on video have to drink that too.
Oh my gosh!
Goodness gracious!
You want to know? I was talking about this with Rob Thompson the other day. True story. Rob found the trophy in his trunk. Now you got to understand, Rob, to realize that was quite the discovery for him. The bottle was completely empty. He said nobody drank it. It didn't spill. It just must have evaporated in the heat.
It evaporated.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
yeah, that's why his car. That's why when he gets pulled over, his car smells like whiskey. He'd be like, I'm not drinking. I swear I'm not drinking.
Between the whiskey and 3-week-old burritos, man, the guy's fine. There's all kinds of smells coming out of that car.
No doubt.
Bob Ballou.
Sounds like every Aggie I know.
Yeah. Bob Ballou from KI Television in Austin, joining us here on the Blitz. Before we talk Alabama, what were your thoughts on the game that UT played last week? Slow start, strong finish.
Yeah, I mean, good vanilla. Don't show anything. We're just little old Texas trying to get by Rice. We can't really do much. I'm not going to show you much. To be honest, like nothing about it worried me other than I think we all would have liked to see a little more out of the offensive line. I mean, I think that's pretty much the one spot where everybody was like, why are they not converting a 4th and 1? Why are they not running the ball better? Why are some of these things happening? But in the end, and I don't know if DJ Campbell's going to start this week. He was a little banged up. Cole Hudson was banged up and didn't play. They expect Hudson to be back this week. So there's going to be a little bit of shuffling maybe on the line. But all in all, the defensive performance was great. Fewest yards allowed in 6 years. Again, everybody can say, well, it was Rice. Well, They played Rice 2 years ago. They beat them 58-0. They allowed more yards than that then. There are things you can look at and say, there are some very obvious things. Xavier Worthy's awesome. The defensive line is really, really good. We're going to see some freshmen play that are going to make an impact. It'll be interesting to see if a guy like Jonte Cook can see the field. He didn't see much of the field, but he's a wide receiver that has crazy good speed that can get behind the defense. Anthony Hill is going to be a guy to watch this week. It's possible they used Anthony Hill as somewhat of a spy on Jalen Milroe. So there are some things they can do. There's certainly a lot of things they can do that they didn't show. And I think that's even more evident if you go watch last year's opener and then watch like the first 3 plays of the Alabama game. And they ran 3 plays that they hadn't even touched. And the second play, all 3 running backs were out on the field and it went for like 30 yards. So there are a lot of things that I think you go, okay, we know Xavier's really good. We know the running backs are deep. What is Quinn Ewers going to be? We just got to wait and see. It's kind of the same thing we've said all offseason. But all in all, I didn't need to take a whole lot from it. They just kind of needed to win, and they won by 4 touchdowns, and now we move on down.
Okay, Bob, I've got to ask you. Obviously, Alabama, everybody's got that one circled on their calendar. But take us inside a little bit, because Sark is never going to admit this, but how much pressure do you think he feels that Texas needs to go up there and win this football game?
See, I don't know if he feels that as much as he feels this year needs to be good. This program needs to continue to take a step forward. He's been really good about, let's just focus on getting it right now, doing the right things right now. And I feel like it's led to a better position. Their roster is uber talented compared to what it was when he took over 2 years ago. The recruiting has really picked up. What we need to see now is the coaching side of it. What offensive schemes are they going to run? What are they going to do when they when they score 35 in the first half and they score 3 in the second half? Can that change? Did Quinn Ewers really take a step this year, or is he the same guy we saw last year that was really inconsistent and indecisive at times and throwing off his back foot and making bad decisions and some of those things that we saw? Who is he? And I think we're still trying to figure that out. So I don't know if it's as much this particular week. Obviously, he would love to go beat Nick Saban. Everybody in college football loves to beat Nick Saban.
Yeah.
But I don't think he looks at it like we've got to go win this game or else. I think he looks at it like this is a step. And because here's the thing, if they win this game and then don't win the Big 12, nobody will look back at this game and go, well, at least they beat Alabama.
Right.
It will be this has to be a season-long process for this team.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, because I know plenty of Aggies who talk about Zach Calzada and the fact that he beat Alabama that year.
That's a bothersome thing, though, and that's a program that hasn't taken the necessary steps it needed to take to move forward. And I think it was kind of the same thing in 12 when Johnny went to Alabama and they won that game, didn't win the division, didn't win the conference, but they came back in 13 thinking, okay, like we've got that monkey off our back, let's go win everything, and they went 8-4. And so there are 9-4. I just think in the end, yes, it would be great for Texas to win this game. But then if they lose 2 or 3 conference games and don't even go to Arlington or get to Arlington and lose, I think people are kind of going to go, yeah, I mean, it's a nice step. It was a great win. I'm glad I was there or whatever. But if it doesn't lead to something bigger and something bigger for the program, I think that's where you start to question things.
Bob Ballou from KI Television in Austin. Tell me if I'm reading what you're saying correctly. Your tone is that of you're downplaying this game as if you're expecting bloodshed this weekend, and not in a good way. Are you anticipating Texas rolling into Alabama and getting curb stomped?
The opposite. Well, not the entire opposite, because I don't expect them to curb stomp Alabama. But I mean, usually we say this for the end, but I'll give you my prediction right now, and it's what I've said all off season, and I'm not shying away from it. Texas is going to win this game by double digits. And the funny thing about saying that is, a lot of things. Number one, what an idiot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're on year 14 of this stuff happening. But even more so, this is a stat I found that made me go, why do I keep saying this to people? Alabama has lost since 2010, since they won the national championship in 2009. Alabama's lost 4 home games by a combined 14 points. and that was 2010, 2011, and 2012. They lost to Auburn, LSU, and A&M. And then they didn't lose again until 2019 when Joe Burrow beat them by 5, 46-41 in Tuscaloosa. So in the last 10 years, they've lost one home game. And they've lost those 4 games in the last 13 years by 14 points. But here I am claiming what I'm claiming, and I'm not going to back off it. I think Texas wins this game by double digits.
Well, and I think they should. And look, and I know we're putting a lot of expectations on Texas. I certainly have been, because going back to what you said just a few minutes ago, I think if Texas doesn't win the Big 12 this year, it's a failure.
100%.
This team has been built to ride out of the Big 12 this year as champions, and I think anything less than that is a failure. So I think when they go up here, I just think Texas needs to win this game to say, hey, we belong in the SEC. We're as good as anybody else. And so I think a win to me means a little bit more than I think the way you're portraying it.
Boy, and I thought this too, though. I will say this to your point. Last year, when they showed without our starting quarterback and in year 2, game 2 of a rebuild, not a rebuild, but you've got talent, obviously, but I hate using the word rebuild. But Sark had talent. It just wasn't his system. Everything wasn't full go the way he wanted it to be. And that team still probably should have beaten Alabama, or had at least a real good chance to beat Alabama, not just because Ryan Watts whiffed on Bryce Young. That wasn't the only play that determined that game. There were a lot of things that determined that game, but they had their chances to beat the number 1 team in the country here last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked Sark that this week. I said, was that maybe an eye opener, not to you, but to your players, that we can compete? And he said, yeah, I think so. I've heard from other people that I've talked to that some of the guys in that game went, I mean, they're great. Like, it's a great program, but we're good too. And we can play with these guys. And so I think that was an eye opener to them. But again, to your point about the Big 12, I totally agree with you that they need to win the Big 12 this year. But last year they took that step and then didn't take the following steps. They lost at Texas Tech. They lost at Oklahoma State. They didn't do the things to get to the Big 12 title game. Lost to TCU at home. So that's all that to me is where I'm saying all of this has to kind of coincide. If they go win, it's an enormous win for the program, but they have to follow up on it. If they lose, no matter what the score is, they've got to be able to bounce back and show that they are the best team in the Big 12 and still be able to do this throughout the year. So while we all want to put a lot on this game, what happens if they win this game and then they got to play Alabama again in the college football playoff in the semifinal in the Rose Bowl? And then everybody's saying, well, you already beat them once. Can you do it again? And then we get into that. It's like, I think that's why everybody's trying to take this. Let's worry about Alabama. Let's try to win this game. And then we'll worry about Wyoming. Because we start thinking, well, we're the best team in the Big 12. We've got to do this. We've got to do that. That's where it starts to get away from you. And that's why, as cliche, the boring, still want to know, let's worry about this. Let's play our game, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, it's true. Like in the end, it really is true. Because if you start thinking about, well, we beat Alabama, now we can beat, TCU and Oklahoma and all these teams in the Big 12, then you quit worrying about what's right in front of you, and it kind of gets away from it.
And you mentioned Wyoming. I mean, you saw what those guys did to Texas Tech.
Right.
Right.
And that's,
never know.
And that's kind of the crazy part of opening weekend. It was not a good weekend for the Big 12 at all. I mean, Texas State blowing out Baylor, Colorado and TCU, Tech losing on the road to Wyoming, even in overtime. It was not a good weekend for the Big 12.
No, and I think, and I still believe that TCU will be fine. They've obviously got some things to figure out on defense. They've given up, 155 points in the last 3 games. There are some things that need to go on there. I don't know what's going on at Baylor. I think that's a really big question mark right now and they've got Utah coming in this week. So that doesn't make it any easier.
I know.
And then Texas Tech obviously was the team that everybody was going, oh, this is the year they take a step and maybe they compete for a Big 12 title. Maybe that last game on Thanksgiving is a game that they circle on their calendar and say, if we beat Texas, maybe we're playing for the Big 12 title. Brett Yormark saying all the things in Lubbock. And then you go to Wyoming and lose. So I think maybe that's a good example of some of the points. Like, what if TCU and Texas Tech bounce back and roll through the Big 12 and they're beating everybody? That opening weekend loss won't look so bad. So while I think we all went into the season saying, the Big 12 may be kind of meh this year, and it's the opportunity Texas has been waiting for to really grasp a hold of this league, still got to go out and do it. And we're seeing that in results like Baylor losing to Texas State.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Ballou, KI Television in Austin, while a little subdued in talking about the game against Alabama.
And Bob's got a big,
it's interesting.
Well, that's it. I mean, I was like, all right, I know you well, but Bob Ballou, for the record, not only does Texas go in and get a win this weekend at Alabama, they win by double digits.
And Bob can be pretty loud. Let me just say
well,
that.
So,
yeah, sure.
I think Bob is setting us up for next week, man. I told you so. They were going to get rolled. I mean, they're good, but, man, this is going to be bad.
Listen,
no, they're going to win by double digits.
They'll win by double digits. I think it's interesting, too, but I thought Texas was like that this week, too. I thought Sark didn't say a whole lot on Monday. Quinn Ewers didn't say a whole lot. Quinn was pretty short. Not that he's ever really long, but, he's been more engaging as he's come along. This week, everything was pretty short. Sark was pretty short with a couple of reporters. Not, in a horrific way, but just, I don't know. There was just something different this week where it was the joking around and the we can ask some fun questions or we can ask what that wasn't there. I asked Sark what his go-to restaurant was in Tuscaloosa, and he said, if I name one, I'm gonna have to. The other two are gonna be mad, so I can't name anything. And that was it. And so there's not a whole lot of banter this week. It's more, and as much as they want to say it's just another game, which is really fun to say. It's really fun to run that on TV. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's just another game. No big deal. But I think that Texas team sounded subdued on Monday, and I not subdued in a, oh boy, we got to go to Alabama way, but more yeah, we got to be good. We got to prepare well. We got to do the right things this week, and we got to be good. And we'll see if they are. I also will tell you, I for some reason, there's one prediction I made with Minix. I want to say it was 2013 or sometime where I was I think Texas goes in and beats Oklahoma this week. And they lost 65-13. So, sometimes you make predictions that are bad. That's why there's freezing cold takes on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why people suggest that to people. So sometimes that happens. But I think for the most part, you get a good feel of who a team is. And I would be very surprised if Texas went in and got curb stomped this week. I would be sitting in Tuscaloosa. We're driving tomorrow. We're beginning our drive to Tuscaloosa tomorrow morning. We'll be there Thursday through Sunday. And I would be stunned if I'm sitting there Saturday night at 11 o'clock going, what the hell just happened?
Boy, then you got to drive back.
And then,
why are you driving?
That's the point.
Hey, that's TV
the only way we could
days.
go.
Yeah.
The only way we could go. So
CBS
It'll be
Austin
good.
can't afford a JetBlue?
Well, our jet's in the shop. So we have to use the
no Spirit, huh?
What are we driving? A CR3? Is that what it is? Yeah, we got a Honda CRV.
All right.
We got a Honda CRV.
Well, you get to see the countryside.
Well, here, Austin. I was expecting to come up with some sort of Tesla or something. No, we got the electric car. We'll drive over there.
That's actually a good. We should do that for commercial purposes.
There
Let
you
me get
go.
in touch with Elon. I'll write him on Twitter.
There you
on
go.
X. On X.
Absolutely. Bob, enjoy the drive, man.
We'll do. If y'all need some guests tomorrow, we'll have some time.
Yeah.
So listen, feel free. Give us a shout. We'll be on the road. Happy to talk about anything you want to.
Exactly. Bob Ballou from KI Television in Austin on the Buyers Barricades guest line coming up at 5 o'clock. We'll visit with Jane Slater from the NFL Network talking Cowboys as the NFL season is here. In fact, we've got our first game coming up tomorrow night. You got the Chiefs, you got the Lions. Make sure you go download the Underdog Fantasy app or go to underdogfantasy.com. One of the things that I love playing at Underdog Fantasy is their Pick'em game. They've got their season-long Pick'em game that is still live. So you could do that. It is fantasy, but you can win real money, cold hard cash. It is legal in Texas and a ton of fun. Pick between 2 and 5 players, whether they're going to go higher or lower on their season total for stats. For tomorrow night's game, I'm already looking at Marquez Valdez-Scantling right now, higher or lower, 40.5 yards. Travis Kelce doesn't play. I'm all over higher on that one big time because Patrick Mahomes is going to throw the ball at somebody. His higher or lower total, 304 yards, 2.5 touchdowns, half an interception. You just look at that for Jared Goff tomorrow night, who, again, doesn't generally play well outdoors. Half an interception and go higher there as well for Jared Goff in the opener. That's how you build your team at Underdog Fantasy. Head over to their easy-to-use mobile app or go to the website underdogfantasy.com. Use promo code STAR and Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. So if you deposit $100, you're playing with $200. Must be 18 or over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or go to ncpgambling.org. Go download the Underdog Fantasy app. Again, promo code STAR or go to the website underdogfantasy.com.
The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, presents
94.1 San Antonio's Fall Golf Classic, Monday, October 2nd at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now for $120 per person or $400 per foursome. Plus, a hole-in-one shot for your chance at $50,000 or a $1,000 gift card. 94.1 San Antonio's Fall Golf Classic, benefiting the Lupus Foundation of America, Lone Star Chapter. Presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Flight by Yingling, Twin Peaks, Renewal by Anderson, Meritage Homes, and Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Magical moments. Brought to you by Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser makes it look like I have magical powers. It helps me clean just about everything inside my house, like dirty walls, messy kitchens, grimy bathrooms, and it even helps me keep my patio furniture looking like new. I can count on Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to power through tough messes, making it look like I spent hours cleaning, even though I didn't. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser makes cleaning look easy.
This is the story of a very special woman. Just a few knew about her superpowers. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. What, still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Stay ahead of fall hiring needs with Indeed. Their end-to-end platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Nothing says summer like an ice-cold Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Smooth, refreshing, real brewed tea with 5% alcohol. Look for Twisted Tea in the bright yellow cans. Keep it twisted!
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about two things. Easy cleanup with the Ryobi 18-volt ONE+ Whisper Series leaf blower and football. That's right, Reese Davis. With variable speed, it has the power for when you really need it and just the right amount when you don't. And the ONE+ battery platform means you go from yard work to DIY in just a click, so you can get projects done faster. Which means more time for football. For football. Upgrade your Saturday with Ryobi and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car really needs a wash.
The $20 McGuire's bundle includes Gold Class Car Wash for a showroom shop.
Get in the zone.
And what about my tires?
Just spray the included Hot Shine tire coating and you're all set.
Get in the zone.
The inside is not great.
No problem. The quick interior detailer in the bundle can help with that too.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
From local town councils to Capitol Hill, agents who are realtors are standing up for what's right. We're here protecting property rights. Here advocating for the issues that affect our neighborhoods. Here championing fair and equitable housing for all. Because we are realtors, bound by a code of ethics, driven to serve our communities. We're here for it all. Here for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
It's the Awesome Tickets Pro Football Pick'em Challenge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your shot at $50,000 nationally, while weekly winners locally get a $50 gift card to Five Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks. At the end of the season, locally, the best overall record wins the San Antonio Grand Prize of $1,000 worth of tickets to any event from Awesome Tickets. Sign up today at sasportstar.com. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. We've been telling you 5 o'clock for Jane Slater, but we just couldn't wait till 5 o'clock.
I'm so
excited because it's football season. Jane Slater from the NFL Network joining us now in the Buyers Barricades at guest line. As you get ready for week one, Jane, obviously the craziness, covering the Cowboys and network TV stuff. What's the big vibe around the Star and the NFL Network as it pertains to the Cowboys this year?
Well, I feel like every time I turn on the TV, whether it be my network or listen to local radio, every Stephen A. Skip Bayless show, we're leading with Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. It's wild to me. And, when you think about some of these teams that were in the postseason, it just shows you the power of the Cowboys and the power of the Star. Because they did have an impressive season, but it was a really disappointing end to what a lot of people thought was a year they could have made a run for it, but they ran out of steam in San Francisco. I was there for that game, and I didn't even think Brock Purdy or the 49ers, for that matter, played a great game. And so it's just amazing to me that these storylines continue, but give it to Jerry Jones. I was literally at a bar enjoying drinks with my friends before the season, thinking, no way they're going to make another trade, and it certainly isn't going to be for a quarterback, but he has a way of keeping you in the news. And so now that Trey Lance deal is essentially creating what I believe is a bit of a distraction for Dak. And what's crazy to me about this is I will never forget being at training camp a couple of years ago. And Jason, maybe you remember this. Jerry Jones was asked about the possibility of signing Colin Kaepernick. Remember, this was after, maybe it was when was this? It was like 3 or 4 years into Dak's career. I think it was when he was putting himself back out there and doing basically a tryout for all the teams. And at that time, Jerry Jones said to us, he would never draft a quarterback that would be a distraction for his franchise guy. Do I remember that wrong? Because I'm pretty sure that's what he said, because I'm pretty sure that's what I reported at the time. I consider Trey Lance a distraction. I don't think he's going to be a guy that's going to play this year. I don't think that if that goes down, that Cooper Rush won't be your backup. But what it does create is I just think they've never had a guy in that room. I mean, Andy Dalton to some extent was a little bit of a distraction, but Andy Dalton to me was more of a journeyman. Trey Lance is more of a guy that you want to develop and have a project. It's the whole thing's very interesting to me.
Well, Jane, Jason and I, we've obviously been talking a lot about the Trey Lance thing. Do you think that trade has anything to do with the negotiation process that might be ongoing between Jerry and Dak?
1,000%. But what was interesting to me about all this, if he had been outright released, I get the move, right? But the Cowboys covet, we've talked about this on the show several times, they covet their draft picks, particularly fourth rounders. That's where they found Dak. It's where they found Tony Pollard. I believe they also got Zach Martin was a first rounder. Who was the other? Dalton Schultz, fourth rounder. So those are guys that ended up being starters for you, and you don't know if Trey Lance is going to be a starter. And so especially when you look at the offensive line, Tyler Smith scare this week, although I tend to think even though he didn't practice today, people inside the building didn't seem to think didn't think that it was as serious as maybe they initially thought it was. So I think there's still possibly a chance he will play, even though Wednesday practices are important. I just think that guy has shown you that he can play whenever you need him, wherever you need him. And so maybe they're banking on that with Tyler Smith. But I mean, you saw a lot of injuries on the offensive line. It seems to me like you're going to give up a fourth round. I got Stephon Gilmore. I got Brandon Cooks. I just didn't quite get Trey Lance.
It's going to be interesting to see how it ultimately plays out if it turns into anything. I still think the best of value that Trey Lance offers the Dallas Cowboys this year is intel the week they play the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, that might be worth a fourth-round pick just to get a little bit extra that gets you a win against the 49ers. I don't know. Jane Slater from the NFL Network joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. So much made, especially because it's Dak, no preseason time. No preseason time for a lot of starters. So Sunday night against the New York Giants is essentially the first preseason game for the Dallas Cowboys. Do you expect a slow start out of this unit because they didn't see any time in the preseason?
They've lost their last 3 season openers under Mike McCarthy, haven't they? I'm pretty sure they haven't won one yet. And I think some of that has to do with the rustiness. I mean, look, I was in New Orleans covering Chiefs Saints in the preseason, and Patrick Mahomes had a series. Does Patrick Mahomes need reps? No. Derek Carr, I got why he got reps. So, I mean, when you look across the league, you know, people like, I know, like, for instance, I was doing a story on this a couple weeks ago. Pete Carroll doesn't play a lot of his starters. And then you can go back and forth. When you look at their records, it was, you know, Cowboys, even though they haven't played a lot of their starters in the preseason, under Mike McCarthy, they have had, you know, these 2 12-win seasons. So I don't know. I just feel like it does feel like they are rusty and slow when they get out there. And particularly when you've got a new offense and you've got, you know, a bunch of new offensive skill players. Why wouldn't you want them to get into a rhythm? Now, they say they practice hard and they go against one of the league's best defenses. I get it, but nothing replaces live game action. And so I always find Mike's philosophy sometimes interesting. Like, I don't understand, and I've kicked this around a couple people. I thought it was great that you let Dak call a game and he won you one in the preseason, but why? You training him for your job?
Yeah, maybe so.
You know what I took out of that? I'm curious if Mike McCarthy was watching how Dak Prescott called plays and when they broke down film, how close Dak was on a particular play or style of play that Mike was, to see how close they were to being on the same page. I think it was a test for Dak Prescott.
Possibly. You know, how much of a handle does he have on this offense? How quick can he get the plays out, recognize the plays? You know, he's even talked about when he was injured, the different things he was seeing from the sidelines. And so maybe there is a wisdom behind that. But why not do that in practice? Why not put him out there in the preseason? I truly believe, you know, one of the reasons we don't see Dak Prescott is, unfortunately, you know, we've had, 2 back-to-back years of injuries. And so I think they kind of want to bubble wrap him, because you'd hate to lose Dak in the preseason, particularly when you had some uncertainty there on your offensive line. But I don't know. I found the move very interesting. Well, I find a lot of things that Mike does interesting. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it's interesting.
Well, it is interesting. And you know, gosh, it's the Dallas Cowboys, right? So they're always interesting. There's always something going on. You know, Jane, when you look at the Cowboys, when you're talking about they could be rusty, I have to believe that the New York Giants are sick and tired of hearing that Dallas owns them. And it's been true. I mean, just look at it, right? And so they're going to come out. It's the Cowboys.
Last 12 games.
Yeah, it's the Cowboys. It's the Giants. So I just have to believe. But my problem is, Jane, I don't know how good the Giants are. What do you think?
I'm with you. Now, I will say they bolstered up their secondary because they were getting burned. And so I was talking about this yesterday on NFL Network. You know, who's going to travel with CeeDee Lamb? Who's going to travel with Brandon Cooks? We saw Adoree Jackson traveling with CeeDee last year, and that didn't really work out for Adoree. They've got 2 young guys. What was it? Deontay Banks, Trey Hawkins. I was told that, Jackson's going to be more of your slot guy, that this Hawkins guy has really been impressive. And so I do think that they've at least given more attention to their secondary. But when I look at the Cowboys, again, this is on paper, I feel like they've got a lot of really solid weapons. The problem is, we've talked about this in the past, the Cowboys, can they put it all together?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that when I look on paper offensively for the Giants, I think there's a little bit of a mismatch there when I look at what the Cowboys are bringing to the table, what the Giants are.
It's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see how they actually use Tony Pollard, the kind of workload that he gets, and then is it Rico Dowdle or Deuce Vaughn, and how do they use Deuce Vaughn? Do they use him as a traditional running back, or as Ryan Eagle likes to say, he's just a gadget guy?
Well, and see, I'll be honest. I thought he was more of a little bit of a gadget guy. Here's a fun story. And I had a lot of people temper me in this league and say, Jane, go back and watch him when he was at Kansas State. This guy went up against big boy defenses. He is not a novelty at all. And if he was taller, I tower over him. And, these poor videos of the guy on the internet, just the short guy jokes, let him flow. But he is, I think they're able to disguise him and hide him a little bit. And he proved elusive in the preseason. That's why I couldn't believe they showed him as much as they did, because I didn't think they'd want to put that much tape out there. It's just Kevontae Turpin really kind of impressed us during training camp too. And then he sort of got figured out. Now, I will be looking forward to seeing how they employ Kevontae Turpin this year, because my TCU folks loved him when they utilized him more with the offense as a wide receiver. And so, they've got these two small guys out there. It could be fun to watch. It's just, I just don't know what to expect. Even when I was talking to Dak Prescott, I had asked him the question that yielded the Texas Coast offense, because I said to him, I'm familiar with West Coast offense, but I don't typically equate speed, vertical speed, with West Coast offense. And that's when he said, well, this is a little bit about the Texas Coast offense. We don't think that people have seen anything like that. I just think it's, when you talk to a lot of people in the league, it's not like they're coming up with different concepts or the terminology might be a little different. It's just a way of how they're disguising things. And so I don't think it's going to be a wholesale different offense, but I do think you finally have some vertical speed. I mean, Brandon Cooks told me that he can run a 4.3, that he still is running a 4.3, that guy never stopped running. And so when you watched him at camp, I know you guys had eyeballs on him. That was an impressive connection between those two. Michael Gallup looks like he's got a little pep in his step again. And, I'm one of Michael Gallup's biggest fans. And so you sort of, like, if you're looking at some of these opposing teams, it's sort of like the Cowboys a couple years ago, pick your poison. And I just think last year that wasn't the case for the Cowboys. All they had was CeeDee Lamb, and CeeDee Lamb took until about the Packers game before he decided to take over and be the number one guy.
Gene Slater from the NFL Network will join us every Wednesday during the season. Make sure you watch her on the NFL Network. Follow her on Twitter at Slater NFL. Jane, I know it's busy. Appreciate you jumping on early.
Thank you so much. Full disclosure, I'm doing Saints and Titans this weekend, and so I'm at their mercy when they offer players up for me for our production meetings. So I've got a few this evening. So thank you very, very much for working with me here.
Good stuff always. Jane Slater from the NFL Network on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Jeff Traylor, the UTSA head football coach, is going to join us coming up at 5:30. But right after the 5 o'clock Sports Center, what is the Cowboys' theme of the season? We'll tell you on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, the best way to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
It's Dallas Cowboys football on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. This Sunday, it's the Cowboys and Giants at 6 p.m.
Prescott with a quarterback option, running to the right, spilled, head over heels, into the end zone, touchdown Prescott.
Presented by the A Best Bail Bonds, Ewald Kubota, Mother's Window Tint, the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Woods Comfort Systems, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Woods Comfort Systems. I heard that, and that's who I want to talk about because, well, I know a little something about them. I know the Woods family. In fact, I've known the Woods family most of my life. Grew up with the Woods family in my hometown of Alice, Texas. So they've been in the AC business for as long as I can remember, and they're still going strong, still taking care of folks. And right now, they've got a great deal. You've been thinking about a new energy-efficient AC system for your home? Well, right now, you can take advantage of up to $3,700 in rebates and tax credits. Not just that, Woods is going to throw in a free smart thermostat, a free 12-year parts and labor warranty, a free MERV 11 media filter, plus you're going to get a free Solaris indoor air quality package. My goodness. Look, this special is not going to last long, so give them a call right now for details or to schedule with one of Woods Home Comfort Advisors to take advantage of that great stuff. Here's the phone number, 512-842-5066. That's 512-842-5066. Or you can get them online at woodscomfortsystems.com. The Woods family's going to take care of you. Give them a call, 512-842-5066.
Increase your vehicle's performance and gas mileage with Lucas Fuel Treatment at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Simply add it to your tank at your next fill-up to eliminate carbon and varnish deposits. Get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Treatment for $10, plus 2 times O-Rewards points. See your O'Reilly Auto Parts store for details or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
With Labor Day savings at the Home Depot, we have laundry appliances that just fit. They'll fit your space, fit your needs, and with extra large capacity, Samsung laundry pairs can fit more loads in less time. Plus, with free delivery on orders of $390, worry about laundry pair in the back of your car. Get up to $700 off select appliances like Samsung only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid 8/24 through 9/13. U.S. only. See store online for details.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. Oh, thank you. What does it say? Beware. If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of hospitalization from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Now is the best time to buy a Connecticut water softener. With current models being closed out to make way for the new ones, you can save big. Call Connecticut at 656-PURE and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you. That's 656-PURE.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Get a great deal on select Kubota equipment, the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S. The versatile lineup is built to help you make the most of your land. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months, plus save up to $800 on qualifying implements. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, for 75 years, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville, your new home for the Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at noon.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
This afternoon, San Francisco pass rusher Nick Bosa, now the highest paid defensive player in the NFL. He agreed to a 5-year, $170 million extension. Cowboys practice report is out. Jordan Lewis, full participant. Tyler Smith, Sam Williams, and Donovan Wilson, though, they didn't practice at all. And the Astros are all alone in the American League West. They'll finish up their series with Texas tonight in Arlington.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Guess what day it is?
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
It's a glorious day, isn't it? It's hump day.
Hump day. Mike. What day is it, Mike?
You gonna start calling in sick on Wednesdays?
I'm just glad you entertain yourself.
I'm having a great time.
I mean, it's like being on a long car ride in the 80s with your parents. You're in the back seat counting license plates
of a station wagon.
Yeah.
I remember those days, man.
We never had a station wagon.
Really?
No.
Man, we did.
Remember
and
all the games kids used to play when, you would, either counting states, trying to get truckers to honk their horn, or playing slug bug and beat the crap out of your brother.
That was good. Or we'd figure out what the clouds look like. They resemble a dog or a cow or a pig or something.
It's funny. The other day we were at breakfast. We had some friends in from Kansas City. And, we're at the coast, right? Now, their kid was with them, 27 years old. Is my godson. He just got out of the Navy. And so he was with us. But I made the joke because we were sitting around the table and, Trey was on his phone, and then there were like 4 little kids at the next table, and every one of those kids had a device. And I joked, look at all the kids on the devices. And that included, the 27-year-old. And then Joanna brought up, these kids will never know the joys of, trying to count how many in the, are they pink or the yellow in the sugar packets on the table, or, all the things that you used to do with kids at a restaurant until the food got there.
Right. You couldn't just, throw up a TV screen, and not only a phone, but, my daughter Casey has a little screen where you can play little movies. So keep them whatever.
Keep those kids entertained.
It was just, your dad would pop you on the butt or the back of the head or something and say, behave yourself.
My brother and I used to play paper football.
Yeah.
All the time.
Oh, that was fun.
I mean, that was whether you were doing the field goals, which you'd get in trouble at a restaurant, or even where you just slide it across the table like shuffleboard and try to get it to the end.
Yeah, it's got to be halfway off.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could still make one of those things.
You probably can't.
I bet I can. I'm going to have to try. And we used to play that all the time.
Well, absolutely. It was
Love
fun.
playing. It was a blast.
Or the paper from a straw. And
what, spitballs?
Yeah.
I didn't do that around my not my parents. At school now. Because you have those Bic pens where you could pull the pin out, right? And they were perfect.
They were perfect. Or pencil fighting. As long as you had a number 2 trusty.
Oh my goodness. Frito Bandito. Do you remember that? You're not old enough, probably.
I have no idea what
Back
you
in
speak
the
of.
day with Fritos, they had a little eraser always at this time of year when school was about to start again.
Really?
Yeah, because their mascot was a guy called the Frito Bandito.
Well, that probably wouldn't fly in 2023.
Well, maybe it wouldn't, but if it was a lot of fun.
Bandito, though, sounds pretty cool.
You buy a bag of Fritos, and inside the bag was this rubber eraser that you put on the end of your
So they put an eraser inside the bag of chips like it's a prize in the Cracker Jacks?
Exactly.
Was it at least in plastic or was it just hanging out with the Fritos?
I think it was in plastic. I don't really remember. But you were cool if you went to school and you had your pencil and you had that Frito Bandito on the end.
Alice, Texas,
That's
baby.
right.
Alice, Texas. I just remember getting the book covers from Buttercrust.
That too.
Yes.
Yes. Dude, kids are missing out today. I'm telling you.
Like if you've tried to buy one of your kids today a Trapper Keeper. Were you still in school when Trapper Keepers were a thing, or was that after you?
I think that might have been after me because we didn't have backpacks. You just had to carry your books.
You didn't carry all your books.
You had to. You didn't be like your arm would be way out here.
Some sort of book bag.
I didn't have a book bag. People laugh at you if you had a book bag. Now the girls had book bags, but the guys, you just had to and you carry your books around.
You probably had a coach that made you carry a football around too and had people punching it so you wouldn't fumble, right?
No. I didn't do that.
Do you have square pizzas on Friday?
Yeah, not on Friday. On Friday was always enchilada day.
Oh, see, I think our Fridays was the square pizza day.
Yeah, I think it was
Wednesday
Fridays.
was always hamburger day.
Yeah.
I think Thursday was we're not sure what this is kind of day.
Sloppy Joe's. I love Sloppy Joe's. That was awesome. You know what a Sloppy Joe is?
Of course I know what a Sloppy Joe is.
I'm just saying.
I don't know that it was ever be classified as awesome.
It was fantastic. I loved eating in the cafeteria as a kid. Yeah, the enchiladas. We had a burger day.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Wednesday I know was hamburger day. Friday was square pizza day.
And we had a pizza day. It might have been Friday, but I know we had enchilada day.
I just love the square pizza. I still like the square pizzas, right? Every now and then, only when you're drinking though, are those Totino's pizzas any good? Right?
Anything's good after that.
Only late at night do you want a square pizza when you're drinking.
I miss those days, and I feel bad for kids today. Miss out on all that fun.
Are you kidding? Did you see that new high school in the Dallas area?
No.
Like in there, they got like a Jimmy John's and a Chick-fil-A, and they got
are you
nothing
kidding?
but fast food restaurants. So, maybe that's why I don't remember the other days of the week, because we just ate at the concession stand.
3244 on our text line says Salisbury steak, mashed potatoes, and rolls. I think we had Salisbury steak at the time. It was like a special thing. And then, around Thanksgiving, they'd roll out the turkey and stuff. Like you weren't going to eat enough of that anyway. But
was it really turkey?
I have no idea, but it was good. I was a big fan of cafeteria food. Had no problem with it.
And now you're a picky, bougie eater.
No,
you really are.
Not.
You really are.
Are
you might
kidding?
not think you are, but you really are.
I was sad when Luby's went away. So yeah, it brought back memories. You go through the line. I want that. Give me some of that.
You just said it went away because you got old enough to finally go and not get made fun of, and they closed the thing down.
I love Luby's. I wouldn't go at 4:00 in the afternoon, but Luby's was good.
You ever put coleslaw in your sloppy Joe?
No. Although I like coleslaw. Some of it has to be made right, but I wouldn't put it on there.
Has to be made right.
Yeah, because there's some that's just awful.
Well,
there's some that's decent.
Mm-hmm. My buddy Brian Carson just texted that. Coleslaw in your sloppy Joe.
Coleslaw.
And then it gets a whole new name, and we're all back in the 4th grade. Hey, Mario, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
I just want to say, back in Joe's days, the kitchen staff actually cooked. Now they just heat everything up.
Yeah, that's a good point, Mario. They did. They were back there cooking. The lady still wore the net and the hair, and
well, I'm sure they still do that. I mean, even kids today don't want hair in their food.
Well,
The hairnets. So at a high school cafeteria, they don't cook anything anymore?
I don't know. I don't
It's
think
just all heated up?
I probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's all TV dinners?
But back in Alice, Texas, back in my day, they would be cooking back there. You'd see them when you first got to school. No, are you kidding? Dude, how big was your high school class graduating?
Probably 350.
Mine was 550.
500 people in Alice, Texas?
550 in my graduating class.
Were you a 5A school?
Yeah, back then we were. Sure were.
There were
played all the corpus schools.
Hold on. 5 in your graduating class or your entire high school?
No, my graduating class.
So Alice, Texas is bigger than Copperas Cove, Texas?
Yes, and a hell of a lot better.
Well, I can tell you that. I mean, you won't get an argument there. There's not many great things about Copperas Cove, Texas.
Well,
honest.
I wasn't going to go too far with my defense of Alice, Texas, but it was a great place to grow up.
Copperas Cove, I don't want to say it was a great, but I couldn't wait to get out of there. Right.
Well, me too.
But the problem with Copperas Cove is there's 0 jobs, 0 industry there. Killeen, Copperas Cove area is all about Fort Hood.
Military, yeah, right.
Whatever they call it now. What did they change the name to? Cavazos. It will always be Fort Hood to me, right? So you go to Killeen, you got pawn shops, used car lots, fast foods, and strip clubs. I mean, that's all you have.
So, we didn't have strip clubs that I knew of anyway.
Well, you didn't have them in Copperas Cove. They were in Killeen.
Oh,
I see. Technically kind of down 440, the old 440 kind of get to Harker Heights, and you could have strip clubs there. Hell, Copperas Cove in Coryell County, you couldn't even drink. It was a dry county.
Oh, wow.
Until a couple of years ago. Unless you got a club card, there was one private club called Country Nights that could serve alcohol, but you couldn't go to a 7-Eleven or and buy beer. So we have to go as a high school kid, with our fake IDs. My fake ID when I was in high school, I was 33 years old. But you'd go to the beer barn in Lampasas.
Oh my gosh.
It's a drive-through beer barn, and you can buy your beer there.
Well, in Alice, there was a convenience store there that if you were a 3-year-old and had the money, they're going to sell you whatever you wanted. So it didn't matter. But it was all over the place. Alice wasn't dry. So, but we used to hang out at the Pizza Hut all the time, and you could, we'd drink beer in there in high school. Nobody ever really checked anything. So
there was no drinking. We had Skate World, the Pink Panther.
So we didn't have a Skate World, but we'd have a traveling tent come to town where you could skate.
Good Lord.
Oh, those were the days.
UTSA head football coach Jeff Traylor will join us in about 15 minutes. What is the theme of this year's Dallas Cowboys team? We will tell you as we continue on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're dealing with any issues at your house with your plumbing, your heating, your AC, there is one company to call, and that is Quarter Moon. 210-651-5899 is the phone number. At Quarter Moon, they are full service. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. At Quarter Moon, they do not have commission sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quarter Moon, they are green certified. 210-651-5899 is the phone number for Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 651-5899 or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
It's Dallas Cowboys football on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. This Sunday, it's the Cowboys and Giants at 6 p.m.
Prescott with a quarterback option, running to the right, spilled, head over heels, into the end zone, touchdown Prescott.
Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, Ewald Kubota, Mother's Window Tint, the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Woods Comfort Systems, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Attention business owners. If you had W-2 employees during the pandemic, you are potentially leaving a lot of money on the table. I'm sure you've heard of the ERC or employee retention credit from people promising outrageous returns and charging an arm and a leg to get what's rightfully yours. If you'd like to talk to someone born and raised here, to an expert you can meet in person and not some salesman in New York, visit me, Mike Rooney, at SanAntonioERC.com. Not everyone is going to get approved, and I can't promise $26,000 per employee, but it's worth looking into at SanAntonioERC.com.
Hey, listen up, sports bettors. This is Rob Thompson here to tell you about BetUS.com. You know, I only endorse one sportsbook, have for years. It's BetUS.com. And this year, they're celebrating 30 years of sports betting service with a deal I've never seen before. How about up to 30 risk-free bets available to you right now? That's risk-free bets. They're calling it Bet Protect. I'm calling it great. And if that's not enough, BetUS also offers the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus. And if you're coming with crypto, there's even more there. BetUS.com. They've been my book for a long time. Make them yours. Get started today by visiting BetUS.com. Or if you want to give them a call, let them do the typing while you talk. It's 1-800-MY-BET-US. That's 1-800-692-3887. That's BetUS.com, Sportsbook and Casino. It's where the game begins, and you need to begin right now. Go to 1-800-MY-BET-US. Go to 1-800-692-3887. Call them today. Let them do the typing. You talk. BetUS.com. It's where the game begins.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. In the short amount of time I have to talk to you, I want you to remember two things. First, if you or a family member is injured in an auto collision, remember, you need to call an attorney as soon as you can after the collision. I don't have enough time to tell you the many, many reasons why, but trust me, the earlier you contact an attorney, the better. Second, when you call is as important as who you call. I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've been representing people injured in motor vehicle and trucking collisions for 28 years. Each place their trust in me to do everything it takes to attain a just and fair recovery and to get honest, trustworthy legal advice. You can trust me to do the same for you. If you or a family member has been injured in an auto collision, call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400 or at my website, alawyerforus.com.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
It's the Awesome Tickets Pro Football Pick'em Challenge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your shot at $50,000 nationally, while weekly winners locally get a $50 gift card to 5 Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks. At the end of the season, locally, the best overall record wins the San Antonio Grand Prize of $1,000 worth of tickets to any event from Awesome Tickets. Sign up today at sasportstar.com.
Tomorrow on R&R in the morning, it's game day, baby. Chiefs, Detroit, we're getting you ready. We're looking at all the NFL games. That gumbo is hot. Look at the NBA. No meaningful movement with Dame. What's going to happen around the league? And is James Harden destined for failure? Lots to talk about around the world, but it is all football. Now back to the Blitz. Jason and Joe, the Root Pub going to be popping tomorrow. Can't wait to see what you do today.
Absolutely. Easy for me to say. We will.
We
will.
It's Wimby Wednesday.
Yeah.
We.
Everything last night was we. Absolutely. We will be at the Roo Pub tomorrow to kick off the NFL season. The Blitz live from 2 to 6. If you can't make it out to the Roo, or when you're driving out there, you need to be near a TV, you can listen to the game. Chiefs Lions right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, presented by Yingling Traditional Lager. It's going to be a great time because the NFL season is here.
Yes.
Get your fantasy lineups in, your pro football pick'em challenge at sasportstar.com, presented by Awesome Tickets. Weekly winners get a $50 gift card to 5 Oaks Ace Hardware. Can't beat it.
Can't beat it at all. And it was so much to look at this first weekend of the NFL season just to see where teams stand. And it all starts tomorrow night. I want to see what the Lions look like. Are they for real?
Did you sign up yet?
I haven't. Do I need to do that?
I mean, you said something in the 3 o'clock hour and maybe in the 2 o'clock hour that you wanted to get that done before the end of the show.
Well, I got about 40 minutes.
Got about 40 minutes. Now, as you think about the Dallas Cowboys every year have a theme. Now, Jason Garrett was a big fan of one-word themes.
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy, the theme for this season, 2 words.
the theme is Carpe Omnia, seize everything. So presented it to the team today, and it just really has a few parts to it. And frankly, probably the players should speak on it, because I'd be curious how much they paid attention. But it's a good theme. I think themes are important. They come to you at different points of the off season. So this kind of came a little different. I think it needs to illustrate where you feel your football team's at, where they are in their, progression towards winning a championship. And, I think it's very, very difficult to win a Super Bowl in this league. There's no question about it. That's proven each and every year, but sustaining success is, I think personally, in my experience, is a bigger challenge. So just giving them, the touch tone to just connect with, Carpe, seize, Omnia, everything. So is the way we're looking at this season. And it's, we have an empty picture frame in the front of the team room, and illustrating pictures pictures say 1,000 words, but the reality of it is an empty frame is everything, because it's all the possibilities, capabilities, what's in front of us, and are we going to do what we need to do every single day, everything that we possibly can do to fill that frame and be part of the history and tradition of the Dallas Cowboys. So little clip notes here for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice. I like that theme. Seize everything, empty frame.
I just wonder, in the coach's motivational retreat this year, were they talking about pictures? Were they talking about picture frames? Because watching Hard Knocks last night, the finale of the Jet season on Hard Knocks, their theme is fill the wall or finish the wall or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
And they've got this long hallway, and it's kind of broken up all the weeks of the season, and every game, including the preseason games, they're putting up fancy photos from that particular game. And they've got a spot all the way to February, and they want to fill that. The Cowboys. How do you say it? Carpe Omnia on their team wall and in the team meeting, and sees everything with some cool photos. I mean, somebody got a fantastic photo contract with the NFL, and they're making the most of doing all these wall wraps.
I'd like to, because I don't know if Mike McCarthy is a drinker at all, but I could see, a bunch of coaches sitting around, some cold beers involved.
Mm-hmm.
Carpe Omnia. Heard that once.
No, I could say that. To me, it sounds like at a fancy restaurant, the sampler platter. You get a little bit of everything from the appetizer menu. Seize everything.
Carpe Omnia.
You could see that at a high-end restaurant.
I could see that. Or is that like a fish dish?
Well, I mean, it could be, a nice fancy seafood restaurant.
Give me the carpe.
Where
with a little Omnia sauce.
They don't go to the same restaurants in Oxnard as we go. So maybe we need to find out where they were at, where they had the Carpe Omnia platter.
Those poor guys, Jerry does, but, the coaches probably don't get to go anywhere. Got to eat with the guys.
They DoorDash, just like everybody else.
No, are you kidding me? Jerry's ponying up some good food.
I mean, it's good food, but it's the same thing over and over. Every now and then, maybe, somebody wanted to DoorDash an In-N-Out burger.
Well, that could happen, I guess.
I mean, Rob Thompson gets, a dozen cookies from McDonald's delivered in the middle of the night from Uber Eats.
Yeah, but we don't have the security problem that the Cowboys have. It's very difficult to get into that hotel complex.
You meet in the lobby like everybody else. It's not like the delivery driver is going to take it right to your room.
Well, that's after you got to get out of the car and they get very familiar with you.
I'm the DoorDash guy. Come on through. I could see it.
Well, who's it go to? And then who's got to be the runner?
The rookie?
Who? A rookie? So you're talking about like Deuce Vaughn had to run down and grab somebody's.
Yes. Exactly. And you would send Deuce Vaughn. I wouldn't send Mozzie Smith. You'll never get your food.
No, he'd eat it all. Now, Deuce would be good.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe one of those skinny wide receivers. CD probably wouldn't eat your food. Well, he's not a rookie, though.
He's got his own chef, and he's not a rookie going to get anybody's food.
Well, he was a rookie at one time.
Yeah, but he's not anymore. He is not anymore. UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor, man, he got the gift of a gift yesterday from Harvey Nasium. $1 million this year, $1 million next, and he's got the Texas State Bobcats on tap. Jeff Traylor joins us next here on the Blitz. Tomorrow night, live at the Roo Pub, it's the opening night of the NFL. The Chiefs, the Lions, and we tell you all the time, if it's a big game, a big event, no better place to go watch than at the Roo Pub with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. They have the biggest and best wings in town. I love their fried shrimp. 15 different burgers on the menu. James Pledger tells me they have wonderful salads. They've got great appetizers like the onion rings or the Philly cheesesteak fries, which are my go-to. And that kitchen is open late till 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. So when you need that late night meal, you don't want to go to a drive-thru. You don't want to have somebody deliver it. Get into the Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland Road. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub next to the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
It's R&R in the morning.
Thursday on R&R in the morning. Rudy's in the hole, but we're looking at the NFL up and down all the games, starting with the game tonight. Chiefs in Detroit. We're also going to look forward to the college football season. Is Texas ready for Bama? And can A&M head into South Florida and bring it home? The NBA is always top of mind. No meaningful movement on Dame Lillard. Party starts at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Federal criminal cases are much more complex than state cases. The court process is different. You have to have a lawyer with experience in federal law to navigate through it. If you have been accused of a federal crime or being investigated for one of the most important decisions you'll have to make is who will represent you in the process. The LaHood Norton Law Group has decades of experience dealing with federal investigations, federal trials, and achieving outstanding results for our clients. The sooner you contact our team, the sooner we can help. Call us at 210-797-7700.
Howdy, Bobby Jenkins of ABC Home and Commercial Services. Trees can be one of your landscape's most valuable elements, and keeping them healthy is always money well spent. ABC's veteran tree staff is manned by ISA and Oak Wilt certified arborists, and we provide tree trimming, tree care, and tree fertilization services. Plus, if you're ever concerned about tree damage from wind or storms, give our specialists a call for a free evaluation. ABC Home and Commercial Services, specialists for your environment.
ABC Home and Commercial Services.
Nothing says summer like an ice-cold Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Smooth, refreshing, real brewed tea with 5% alcohol. Look for Twisted Tea in the bright yellow cans. Keep it twisted!
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Nothing says summer like an ice-cold Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Smooth, refreshing, real brewed tea with 5% alcohol. Look for Twisted Tea in the bright yellow cans. Keep it twisted!
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured, so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about two things. Easy cleanup with the Ryobi 18-volt ONE+ Whisper Series leaf blower and football. That's right, Reese Davis. With variable speed, it has the power for when you really need it and just the right amount when you don't. And the ONE+ battery platform means you go from yard work to DIY in just a click, so you can get projects done faster.
Which means more time for football.
For football. Upgrade your Saturday with Ryobi and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car really needs a wash.
The $20 McGuire's bundle includes Gold Class Car Wash for a showroom shine. Get in zone.
And what about my tires?
Just spray the included Hot Shine tire coating and you're all set.
Get in zone. The inside is not great.
No problem. The quick interior detailer in the bundle can help with that too.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. UTSA with a huge game Saturday in the Alamo Dome, their home opener against Texas State. After watching the Bobcats beat Baylor, this game has gotten a lot more interesting. Let's talk about it with the head coach of the UTSA Roadrunners, Jeff Traylor, joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. But, Jeff, before we talk Bobcats and even Houston, congratulations, man. What was the call like from Harvey Najum?
It was very surprising, surreal. He's helped a ton, through our 4 years here with tickets and just any other little odd item that we might need. But, man, that was very shocking. And we're more than blessed. As you know him, he's just such a neat man and been a real friend my entire time here.
And for those that don't know, Harvey Najum donating $2 million to the UTSA football program, $1 million this year and $1 million earmarked for next year. And the way I understand it, it's at your discretion, Jeff, how that money gets spent.
Yeah, that's the way he wrote it. And, actually it was in a text. So he wrote it that way exactly. And pretty shocking day. And obviously we've got, he read the article in the San Antonio Express News and he's heard me talk and say about it. And when he saw the facts of where we were in recruiting and just, our overall operations compared to the rest of the schools in our conference, he's very committed to the Roadrunners and UTSA. As so many people in this city are. I said it today. Every time we've needed anything, someone in this community has stepped up. All of our suites are sold out. Tickets are as high as ever. People just are very much behind the Roadrunners in spite of our disappointing loss Saturday night, which has really got us, shook to our core.
Yeah, I know, Jeff, and we'll talk about Texas State coming up. I have a feeling the Dome's going to be rocking Saturday afternoon for that ball game. I've seen all the trash talking and going back and forth between here and San Marcos. But I want to go back to Houston for just a minute. I'm sorry about that. But Frank, how is he doing today? He seemed to really take that game to heart and felt really bad about it.
Yeah, he does. It's all over his face. He's eaten up by it. And it's so sad because there were 3 penalties in the game where Frank Harris scrambled around, completed first downs. We had penalties that called it back. And, we had the 3 turnovers. And if you look at each one of them has their own little story to it. But in the fourth quarter, he leads us down the field 95 yards, scores. We think we're getting the ball back with 2 minutes left. That ended up not happening. But we've all seen him. He's kind of magic when he's down with 2 minutes left. And I hated he didn't get to write the end of the story the way he wanted to. So he's very determined. He's probably only had 50 live reps before that game, Joe, just because of his injuries. And he's 80 in that game. It came out really healthy. So I expect you'll see some of that rust get knocked off each week.
When you go back and you watch the film as we visit with UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor, it was a much lower scoring game than I think most of us expected. Were you surprised that the offense, and I know there were 3 turnovers there, didn't light up that scoreboard down there in Houston?
No, not at all. We expect it to be an NFL-type game. We knew it was going to be a very low-scoring game. Turnovers, possessions were going to be key. We just got too much, change right now on offense for us to be expected to go out there and be what we were last year. We're bringing a quarterback back along slowly that came through a lot of injuries. Our receiving core has turned over, very drastically, and we've got to grow up some young kids. And when you're doing that, as good as our defense played, we didn't hit the punt very well, so that allowed them to get a good punt return. We were not good at punting. We weren't just real good at snapping. We didn't catch the kicks very well. We had 8 penalties and 3 turnovers. And I don't care how good your defense is. When you have that many mistakes, it's going to be hard to beat a team, especially a Big 12 team like Houston, at their place.
Jeff, when you look at that, and I know you can go through practice and you think your team is ready to go, but until you hit that game action, it's really difficult to tell exactly where you are. Is it not?
It's very true, Joe. I mean, I've said this before, and when you're a Texas high school football coach, you get 2 scrimmages. When you're an NFL head football coach, you get about 3 preseason games. When you're a college coach, you just keep banging on each other after the practice field for an extra month. It's the silliest thing I've ever heard of in my life. And then we wonder why we go out there in the first game and there's so many upsets and so many shocking things across the country. Well, that explains a lot. And I'll say the same thing to my kids. I'll say the same thing to you two guys. We're not that different. My very first year, we were 1 play away from losing about 100 times against Texas State. My second year, the ball ended in the end zone off a tip pass from Illinois, and we won that game about 1 play. The next year, we lose in triple overtime, 101 play times in that game we could have won or lost. And this year, 1 yard cost us the game, or was it 1 foot? Well, that was the measurement. Then it was 1 inch. Then it was a first down. My point is, we're 2-2. Our first 4 games could have been 0-4, could have been 4-0. We're not near as good as everybody thinks we are when we win those close games. We're not near as bad as everybody thinks we are when we lose those close games.
Jeff Traylor, UTSA head football coach, joining us here on the Blitz. Saturday, it's Texas State. G.J. Kinney in his first game as the head coach of the Bobcats. They go on the road and they upset Baylor. And the way they did it, and I know Deion Sanders getting a lot of headlines for what he did at Colorado. I think G.J. not near as famous, but did the exact same thing. And I think maybe even a more surprising win for Texas State to go beat Baylor on the road, a Big 12 team. Your relationship with G.J. is so well documented. Have you talk to him this week like you would on a normal week, or because it's game week and you're playing them, you don't talk or communicate like you normally would?
No, we've talked every day like we always do. We just aren't talking about the same things. We're not talking about scheme. We're not talking about philosophy. I'm not trying to help him. He's not trying to help me. It's literally just, very friendly banter, some smack talking back and forth to each other. He likes to rub in my face, how he still gets to eat whatever he wants to, and he sees me having vegetables and low-fat dressing. I told him, there's going to be a day, Jason, there's going to be a day. And when I'm 75, he's 55, I'm sexier than he is, I'm going to remind him of that.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, what is it that he did? I mean, that Texas State team had always had a hard time, it seemed like to me, recruiting and bringing people in. And I know the portal helped him tremendously, but how different is that Texas State football team under G.J. Kinney?
Well, defensively, they've got 10, Power 5 transfers starting on defense. And they only have 1 kid still from Texas State. Offensively, they've got 10 kids that have transferred in, 1 kid from Texas State. So he really took advantage of the new rules. He identified really good talent. He's coached them very well, and they just didn't get lucky over there. They physically whipped Baylor on both lines of scrimmage. The offensive line whipped them, and the defensive line whipped them. And that's the most surprising thing about it. You think it's just a bunch of tricks, and but it wasn't. Baylor rallied back at them, and Texas State just went right back at them.
They really did. They punched him in the mouth. I mean, it was insane. Indy Kalu, who used to play in the NFL, his kid is a redshirt freshman on that Baylor team. And he said when Texas State walked out, it looked like men amongst boys, talking about Texas State, comparing them to Baylor. And he talked about the physical nature of it. And of course, the 6'7" quarterback that the Bobcats have. How do you get a 6'7" quarterback onto the ground?
Yeah, well, they didn't. He's 6'7", about 270. He played at Auburn and played just incredible. The receivers made incredible catches. Their offensive line is just massive. all the way across the front. They're just huge. He did really good. GJ's always had a great eye for talent, and he's done a really good job of coaching it. And they're going to give us all we can handle. They're way more than we expected them to be. But what him and Dion did is the way of the new world. And both those guys deserve a lot of credit for cashing in that way. And it's just we just did it a different way. You know, we took what we had and we've kind of done what we did from the very beginning. We tried to, recruit about 14 to 15 Texas high school football players, 4 or 5 junior college kids, and a couple of transfers each year. So we just built ours a little bit different way.
Jeff, when you look at your football team this week, and first of all, what kind of practices have you had? But secondly, do your guys are they mature enough? I guess is the right word, or do you have to coach them up to say, "Hey, that game's over. We got to move on."
Those days are over. That's what it used to be like. My team's very veteran. We've been through some excruciating losses together. We've been through some of the highest wins in the history of the program together. We've been through a lot together. We've been through COVID together. We've rebuilt the program, with the help of a lot of other people together. And that's the best way I would describe our team is we're together. They've all been there. They showed up on time. They're not real friendly and smiley right now. I will admit they're kind of a grumpy group right now, but a very mature veteran group. What you want, it just hurts that I'm the head coach. They're my responsibility, and there's nothing better than seeing 120 guys with smiles instead of 120 guys with some frowns on their faces all week.
Well, I expect a nice bounce back from the UTSA Roadrunners. And like I started the conversation, the game is a lot more interesting than it was this time a week ago with seeing what Texas State did on the road at Baylor. I would imagine now you're not going to have any trouble, or your staff, getting your guys focused on this game and not overlooking the Bobcats.
I've never really had much of a problem with that, to be honest with you, Jason. And in my 4 years together, there's been one game where I thought we did not prepare and took our team lightly. The other 40-something games, our kids have been very mature and done that. But your point is very valid. It's a lot more spicy now, for sure. It's a better story. I'll admit I didn't expect GJ to whop them like that. I knew he'd give them a good game. He's a really good coach. He does a fantastic job. But I would have never thought he would have handily beat them like he did.
I tell you what, I don't think anybody did. When you looked at that game on the schedule, you're thinking, well, Texas State going up to Waco to play Baylor. Well, look, I do know this, Jeff. I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. I think the Alamo Dome is going to be rocking. I've seen the back and forth between San Antonio UTSA fans and Texas State fans in San Marcos. So the atmosphere in the Dome on Saturday afternoon, I have a feeling is going to be unlike we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I would expect that. I haven't looked up on social media very much. I've thanked Harvey, and I've got off of it pretty quick because I have a feeling there's not a lot of nice things being said about the old head ball coach for the Roadrunners right now. So I've laid pretty low, so I don't know a lot. But I would expect our crowd to show up and be loud like they always have been since we've been here.
All right, Coach, if you'll tell us, as close as you and GJ Kinney are, friendly wager on this one? Is it a bottle? Is it a six-pack? Do you got to mow his yard, or he's going to mow yours, clean the pool? What kind of friendly wager do we have between the two head coaches?
It's against the rules for any college coaches or college players to bet in any way.
I said friendly wager.
They're not getting me. Those guys will get you for some silly stuff. They're not getting me on that one, Brother David.
Well, and just for the record, Jeff, I haven't seen anything bad at all. In fact, I think UTSA fans are behind you even more now than they were.
Well, they're extremely loyal. I told y'all I probably didn't make a good business decision the last few years and the jobs I've turned down, but this city has captured my heart. It's just a unique place. I've made some very good friends. I've said this a million times. My wife and I consider this like our second home. Obviously, we're from East Texas. We were there for a long time. Much family and friends back there, but this place is just, it captured my heart. There's just so many people. They're so loyal. The Battle of Flowers, that parade, 500,000 people, and I promise you 80% of them birds. And it hurts me to do our best to give them what they deserve this Saturday.
UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor with the city behind you. It's a blue out in the Alamo Dome Saturday, 2:30 kickoff. It's going to be a lot of fun. Coach, before we let you go, I got one, I don't want to say knucklehead question.
It's a knucklehead question.
Well, I'm curious. The Cowboys today, Mike McCarthy said the theme of this season is Carpe Omnia, which means seize everything. Every year, there's always some sort of theme that coaches come up with. Where do coaches come up with the various themes that we always see and hear about?
Me personally, I just listen a lot and I talk to my players a lot. And in this last year, we've been through a lot of things, and I knew we were going to have a lot of players coming back. We were going to be expected to win a lot, but I knew a lot of them were injured. Mekhi Hart coming back from an injury. JT Clark coming back from an injury. Frank Harris coming back from an injury. Rashad Wisdom coming back from an injury. I can go on. I got 8 more of them if you want to hear about them. So I knew the media was going to pick us really high. I knew we'd probably get off to a slow start. So I just, no matter what happened, I just kept coming up with, it doesn't matter, get better. Well, when's JT going to get better? It doesn't matter, get better. Well, when's Frank going to get unrusty? Doesn't matter, get better. When's Lucas Green going to get healthy again? Doesn't matter, get better. So for me, it's just kind of anticipation of what it might look like, Jason, and then a lot of collaboration with my players that are returning.
Doesn't matter, get better. The theme of the season for UTSA. Coach Traylor, appreciate you joining us today. We'll talk to you next week as you're 1-1 on the season.
I hope you're right, man. That would make me feel a lot better to keep that trophy right here in San Antonio. God bless. Birds up.
God bless. Birds up. That's right. It's a trophy game on Saturday in the Alamo Dome. Doesn't matter. Get better. DMGB is the hashtag.
It is going to be a fun football game.
Jeff Traylor joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
I've been talking about Stevens Roofing for a long time now. In fact, since I started here at San Antonio Sports Star, and I'm very proud to do it. They're a family-owned company, a local company, and everybody that works for them deals with the same weather that you and I have to deal with. Of course, it's been unbearably hot and dry this summer. There's no question about it. And that sun just pounding down on your roof day after day after day. Well, it can do some damage. It can degrade and age your roof and the materials there. Then, of course, we had that rain, and if you notice some leaking or something that just doesn't look right, you might want to give my folks at Stevens Roofing a call. The number is 210-785-0994. You can also get them online at stevensroofing.net. Look, they're going to come out. They're going to give you an honest assessment about what is wrong, and they'll do the job, and they'll do it right, and they will stand behind the job that they do. They can do anything, whether it's commercial or residential, metal, composition. And oh, by the way, they're licensed by the city of San Antonio. Estimates are always free. So be sure your roof is safe and secure, and do that with Stevens Roofing, your local roofer. 210-785-0994. Online at stevensroofing.net. And remember their saying, buy local, stay local, trust local with Stevens Roofing. 210-785-0994.
It's Dallas Cowboys football on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. This Sunday, it's the Cowboys and Giants at 6 p.m.
Prescott with a quarterback option, running to the right, spilled, head over heels, into the end zone, touchdown Prescott.
Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, Ewald Kubota, Mother's Window Tint, the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chunkla, Woods Comfort Systems, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax.
Touchdown!
A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax. 100% natural male enhancement formulas only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
NFL opening night is coming, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is hooking new customers up with a can't-miss offer. Place your first $5 NFL bet and score $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, all customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every single game day this September. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code OUTCOME to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. That's code OUTCOME, only on DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See dkng.co/football for eligibility terms and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply.
Some days, my active psoriatic arthritis makes it hard to get in the game. Now, the ball is in my court, thanks to treating my skin and joints with Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults.
Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Football is back, and this Sunday, San Antonio Sports Star is going live to kick off the Dallas Cowboys regular season. Join us this Sunday at the Twin Peaks Park North location starting at 3 o'clock as we pregame for the Cowboys and Giants. Sunday fun day with us. 29-degree beer, tasty snacks served up with the lovely ladies at Twin Peaks, and we've got your chance to win 3 Doors Down tickets. It's this Sunday out at the Twin Peaks Park North starting at 3 o'clock. Let the football festivities begin. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. In the short amount of time I have to talk to you, I want you to remember 2 things. First, if you or a family member is injured in an auto collision, remember, you need to call an attorney as soon as you can after the collision. I don't have enough time to tell you the many, many reasons why, but trust me, the earlier you contact an attorney, the better. Second, when you call is as important as who you call. I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've been representing people injured in motor vehicle and trucking collisions for 28 years. Each placed their trust in me to do everything it takes to attain a just and fair recovery and to get honest, trustworthy legal advice. You can trust me to do the same for you. If you or a family member has been injured in an auto collision, call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400 or at my website, alawyerforus.com.
Now's the time to get a great deal on Kubota construction equipment, featuring durable Kubota engines, more comfort, more productivity, more get it done right. The Kubota construction lineup shows up ready to work every day. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 36 months. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, for 75 years, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
This is Rudy J from R&R in the Morning. Set your alarm and wake up with us morning 6 to 10. Plenty of sports and good fun right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe, I'm Jason. It's Wednesday, so tomorrow we're judging meat. You've done any grilling? You did some Labor Day grilling? Make sure you upload those photos at sasportstar.com. The Grilling with the Blitz page for your chance to win a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. And while you're at sasportstar.com, make sure you get your registration in for the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge, because you got your first game tomorrow night. It's brought to you by Awesome Tickets. At the end of the season, best record, you win $1,000 worth of tickets from Awesome Tickets. Weekly winners get a $50 gift card to Five Oaks Ace Hardware. They're on Thousand Oaks and Jones Maltzberger.
Not only did I register, Jason, I made my picks already.
You made your picks?
Made my picks.
All right.
So there you go. There's the winner. I wish I could tell y'all what they are because, well, they're winners.
Yeah, but there's a $50 gift card on the line for Five Oaks Ace Hardware for somebody not named Joe Ryan.
I know. But I just want people, when they go spend that $50, they say, I really don't deserve this. Joe won.
Nobody's going to feel that way because there was times last year that I would win or Pledge would win the week. And I think we both finished in the top 10, but neither one of us actually would have won the whole thing.
No. I mean, you got to get pretty lucky to win the whole thing.
But we were on the first page. We were in the top 10.
Well, that's great. Good for you. You got a plaque on the wall?
Hundreds of people registered. We want thousands. So get registered now at sasportstar.com.
Going to be fun.
Well, Pledge is telling us we have San Antonio Missions tickets to give away.
Oh, wow.
Is that what you're telling me, Pledge? You want to give away some tickets right now? Let's do that. The Missions playing on Tuesday against those hated Springfield Cardinals. If you want to go, in the spirit of Dak Prescott, be caller number 4 right now. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller number 4. You win a family 4-pack of tickets to go see the Missions and Springfield Tuesday night out at the Wolf.
I would have rather done it in honor of Micah Parsons because he's a very happy man today. Nick Bosa, highest paid defensive player in the NFL. Enjoy that because it won't be long before Micah overtakes you.
$34 million a year average for Bosa. 35, 36, 37 coming for Micah.
I don't know. You think it'd be that much? I mean, if you're Jerry, you're going, 34 and a half.
It depends on the year that he has.
Yep, that's a big year for him.
It could go up even more. And I'll tell you what, Micah Parsons rocking the Carpe Omnia sweatshirt today, which means sees everything, according to Mike McCarthy.
So how long before those are for sale at the fan shop?
Jerry's got to raise a lot of money for Micah. I would imagine it's going to be there, but if you're Micah Parsons, sees everything, sees the biggest contract you can go get.
No doubt. And I loved his response today. Just say, hey, I'm happy for Nick, but I'm coming after you. And so that was good. Micah Parsons has got an opportunity, but we don't talk about it. And I have no reason to believe he won't have a good year this year, but there's a lot riding on this, I think, for him. Although I think he's going to get paid anyway, but I think, it's a big year for him.
It is. I mean, clearly.
He could write his own check if he has a great year, especially if he ends up winning Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, my goodness. Then he could just say, he could roll into Jerry's office and say, this is what I want. There'll be no negotiation.
If you missed earlier today, we had Michael Lombardi on the show. You can hear it in the audio vault powered by AA Vest Bail Bonds at sasportstar.com. Michael Lombardi, longtime executive and GM in the NFL. Dude has 3 Super Bowl rings.
Yep.
He was not at all surprised. The Nick Bosa news dropped while we were talking with Lombardi. He was not at all surprised at the number. He said deals like that are easy. It's easy to give great players contracts like that. It's more difficult when you give good players contracts like that. So when I think about the negotiations coming up with Micah Parsons, I think those are going to be easy. The blueprint's there for Nick Bosa. Make the numbers a little bit bigger, sign the deal, and off you go.
Absolutely. And he was surprised that I'm talking about Lombardi. He said, look, I predicted if it didn't get done by 5:00 today, that Bosa was going to sit out that first game.
Mm-hmm.
And the Niners certainly did not want that because they're going into Pittsburgh against a Steelers team that has got some people talking about them.
But he also said that Bosa was trying to get that deal done too because, it's game check time. Nobody wants to miss game checks, especially when you've already been getting fined for holding out.
Yep.
That'll do it for the Blitz tomorrow, live out at the Rue Pub at 281 and Redland Road. Extra innings with James Pledger. Next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Follow Jason at Jason Menix and Joe Reinagel at